Panthers victory. Worked with Gord recently.
They're hesitantly good is how I would put the vibes.
Are you becoming a little bit more, are you becoming more encouraged with the prospects of this season of late?
I'm hesitantly becoming more encouraged. The fact that they put some regulation wins together is huge, but the hole that they have to climb out of is still also quite large. They're going to have to win at a pretty good rate throughout the rest of the season to make the playoffs. But you can only beat the team in front of you, and tonight it's a big one. And I think tonight is where we're kind of see what the Leafs are made of. If this road trip, although it has been lengthy and you're tired at this point, can you dig deep and compete against one of the best teams in the NHL? Then I can be feeling good and not hesitantly good.
It is possible to make up ground despite what people will tell you. Case in point, the Washington Capitals, they lead the Metropolitan Division, not the Carolina Hurricanes, on the strength of a 9-1 last 10. Six wins in a row for them. Washington is buoyed by the goal scoring of Alexander Ovechkin, but they made up the ground. Now it's time for the Leafs to make up some ground.
All right, Puck Drop with Joe Bone and Jim Ralph is next. You're listening to Molson Leafs Hockey on Sportsnet 590 The Fan and the Maple Leafs Radio Network.
The 2025 MLS Cup Final is bigger than ever, and it's on Sirius XM FC.
He has done it again!
Lionel Messi and Inter Miami.
Messi with a left-footed championship brace!
Versus Thomas Muller and the Vancouver Whitecaps.
Thomas Muller! Oh, what a finish!
Who will claim their first MLS title? Find out Saturday at 2:30 Eastern on Sirius XM FC 157 and streaming on the Sirius XM app.
NHL Morning Skate.
Eric Tulsky's the general manager in Carolina.
Are you still a team that looks to go big game hunting via trades?
It's very easy as a manager when you have a good team to get conservative. Just let it play out and hope for the best. And that's not our philosophy here. We don't want to just sit back and call it good enough. We want to keep looking for ways to make the team better.
NHL Morning Skate
with Scott Laughlin and Gord Stellick.
Weekdays 7 a.m. Eastern
on NHL Network Radio,
Sirius XM 91, and the Sirius XM app.
Under review.
And stop making excuses for bad goaltending. And is it bad? Is it horrendous? If you don't win because you don't make a save or two, yeah. The nature of it is the goaltender is responsible for 90% of the action. He's got to stop the puck. Why do we keep making apologies for goaltending? Stop it.
Under review
with Mick Kern.
11 a.m. Eastern on NHL Network Radio,
Sirius XM 91, and the Sirius XM app.
The NHL is on Sirius XM.
3-on-1, Connor McDavid, right circle, ditches, gets it back and scores!
With your favorite team's calls all season long.
It's a power play goal for Matthew Tkachuk!
The rivalries, the big goals, the moments you wait for. Plus, insiders to bring you closer to the decisions that shape the league.
Commissioner of the NHL, Mr. Gary Bettman.
NHL Network Radio, where the hockey talk never stops. On Sirius XM 91 in the car and the Sirius XM app.
Hey, Jim Rome here. What's cracking?
Hi.
Hope you're enjoying the game. And when you're not taking in a game, find us on Sirius Channel 161, XM Channel 206. In fact, we'll be there every weekday afternoon, 3 p.m. to 6 p.m. Eastern Time. If you've got something you want to break down from this game, you know where to find us. Just make sure you have it taken. Don't suck.
Step your game up.
That has never changed. In fact, the show has never changed. We're just back home. And it's great to be there. Sirius 161, XM 206. See you there.
Experience the pinnacle of club soccer in the UEFA Champions League on Sirius XM FC. This is the place where legends are born.
Merseyside magic from Mo Salah.
Dynasties are built.
Real Madrid do what they do best.
And history is made.
It is a night to remember for Paris Saint-Germain.
Hear the top Champions League matches all season long on Sirius XM FC 157 and the Sirius XM app.
Join me, Gord Stellick, and Scott Laughlin as we recap the night that was on NHL Morning Skate, weekday mornings at 7 a.m. Eastern on NHL Network Radio, Sirius XM 91.
The biggest names in the game.
Trying to get behind Ristolainen, walks in, put it between his legs, shoots it, scores!
NHL play-by-play on Sirius XM.
MLS, NWSL, the USL, and more covering the beautiful game here at home. American soccer lives on Sirius XM FC 157.
The best hockey lives here.
Burns gets it back, stick handles to the backhand, moves in front, score!
NHL play-by-play on Sirius XM.
Leafs Radio Network.
Leafs continue
continue their road trip as a stop off in North Carolina against the Carolina Hurricanes. And the bouncers of the Burgundy Bars tonight, it will be Frederik Andersen for the Hurricanes. He has a 5-6-2 record and a 3.07 goals against average. His record against the Leafs is 3-5-2 with a 3.00 goals against average. And Joseph Woll back in goal for Toronto, 3-3-1 this season, 2.53, but a very respectable 9.24 save percentage and a 1-2-0 lifetime mark against the Carolina Hurricanes. And no surprise, you get better goaltending, you tend to win hockey games.
Yeah, and I still think that's part of the reason Wall was upset at being pulled in Montreal, because I think Hildeby only had, one or two shots the rest of the way the second half of the game. That had knocked down the goals against average even more.
Puck is dropped. We're underway. Glad you're along with us. And the Hurricanes will dump it into the Leaf zone. Martinuk hustling in there after it. The puck comes free. Played around back of the net by Carrier. Into the near corner for Stahl. He has some difficulties. And the Leafs are going to get it out. And Morgan Riley, playing in his 899th career game, all with the Maple Leafs, gets the puck to center ice. Leafs will now turn it back, but it's off the stick of Matthews and brought in over the line. Martinuk goes into the corner. Matthews took it away from him, and Nyes gets it ahead, and Domi will skate it out to center in need of a change, but he doesn't get it in deep, and now the Leafs have to go back to their own zone to regroup. Stetcher getting it off on the wing, gets it returned. He'll drop it back to his defense partner, and McCabe finds a man open on the left wing, going hard to the net, a shot off the goal post. They score! It trickled in off the back foot of the goaltender, and this line that has been absolutely outstanding pots the opening goal of the hockey game. I think it's going to be Bobby McMahon who gets credit for it, but it was a strange one off the post, off the leg, and into the net.
Well, Jake McCabe starts the play with a pass, bounces it off the left wing boards to Nick Waugh, who brings the puck over the Carolina line, and then a little saucer pass to the middle of the ice, and Bobby McMahon fired it, and it may have gone off of Carolina's stick. At the same time, McMahon released it, and that handcuffed Freddie Andersen as it trickled through. And the Leafs once more have opened the scoring in the game.
53 seconds into this contest, and the Maple Leafs, for the fourth consecutive time, have opened the scoring. Played up by Stetcher to center. Off a stick and into Carolina territory. Hustling in after it was Joshua. Now McMahon rolls it to the side of the goal, and Andersen is going to stop play. Whoa. Early on, and all of the professional goaltenders, must be a union convention going on. They all booed Andersen for giving up a goal.
Yeah, well, I mean, part of it might be Brandon Bootsy, who actually played in Toronto when Carolina beat the Leafs 5-4. Had a shutout his last time out, a 1-0 overtime win over Calgary. Won the game before that, only gave up a single goal, so fans might be thinking that somebody else should be between the pipes.
So then it's Rod Brindamore that they're booing. I'll pass in by Nylander, didn't connect with Riley, and it is brought out at center ice now by Sebastian Aho. A long wrist shot is easily gloved for the first save of the game for Joseph Woll, and he will stop play to bring a face-off in the Toronto zone.
I would like to think it was Rod Brindamore they were booing, because that would mean a lot of my coaches got booed.
I got it.
Yeah.
No, I picked up on it. I'm not sure the listener did.
Oh, no, if you got it, I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure it's universal.
Yeah, well, you know that I am the lower common denominator here in the intelligence mode. So if I got it, yeah, you're right. I think the listener did get it. So that's good. That's good. Here are the Hurricanes winning face-off. Gostisbehere walks the line now into the slot, and his stick was lifted at the last second before he could get a shot away. He gets the puck back again to the far side, a touch pass back to the blue line, back to Gostisbehere. Top of the circle with a shot, knocked down, glove, smothered, bobbled, juggled, and finally pounced on by Joseph Woll. Does he get like 5 saves for that one? He kind of kicked it around a little bit.
Kind of self-inflicted.
Was.
The last few. It actually hit Seth Jarvis in front of the net. Caught him in the back of the leg and went straight down.
And it rolled up his glove and fell out. And fortunately, there was no one there to do any damage with it. Draw to his right in the Toronto zone. Played off the boards along the wall, cut off by Taylor Hall into the corner and circled around the boards to the far side. Defenseman Riley for the Hurricanes keeping the puck in, and the Leafs having difficulty just getting out of their own zone as it's kept in and sent into the far corner. Again, a centering pass, this time for Jankowski. He doesn't shoot it. Back to the point. Long shot coming. Wall the save again, and once more, no rebound. But that's got to be at least 3 or 4 shots on goal for Carolina. The Leafs have had just the one. Their shooting percentage has been really good early on in hockey games recently.
It's amazing. I mean, they've played better. But you look at some of the goals they've scored, they've been fortunate bounces, just like the one that opened the scoring here tonight that just sneaks through Freddie Anderson's pads and crosses the line. By the way, expect a lot of shots from Carolina.
Oh, boy.
They average over 33 shots per game, second most in the league, only behind Colorado. And the Leafs give up a lot of shots. They're 31st in the league.
Flipped high to center ice by Toronto. McMahon bats it down into the zone, and this line goes to work again. Joshua getting it freed up there for Roy. Back to the blue line. Wrist shot coming in traffic. It's still free, and it's knocked back to the blue line. Riley closing with a shot. And Anderson out this time makes the save. And the former Leaf goaltender gets a round of applause from the other spectators who are not professional goalie types for picking that one up and hanging on.
But this line again. Bobby McMahon had a great opportunity trying to find a loose puck in front on a rebound, and then Morgan Riley stuck down from the left point.
Boy, he was past the dot when he shot. Matthews lined out for Toronto as it's flipped down into the zone, out of the goal wall to clear into the corner, and then he had to come roaring back to the net to make a save, and when he did, his momentum had him slide all the way past the net, fortunately with the puck up against the boards, the end boards.
That looked like a soccer goalie in a penalty kick, didn't it?
It did, yep.
Just dive over.
He didn't have time to even plant that right leg to stop his momentum.
Well, when he threw it up the right wing boards, it wasn't on a good angle to get it out. And give Wall credit, made the mistake and got back quickly to cover up for it.
Draw control by Carolina. Another shot. That goes off a stick and deflects wide. Back of the net now is Martinook. Martinook banking it back to the blue line. One of the Leafs has got a broken stick, and that is Nyes, who's trying to get one from the bench. It comes back to the blue line. Another shot. That deflects. Nyes with a stick now. Can't get to it. Here's Carolina continuing to press, and they've had the majority of the zone time here as it comes back to the blue line, and another shot off a leg, grabbed off by Domi. Domi quickly gets it ahead for Nyes. Nyes in the middle of a change sends it back into his own zone. Myers for Toronto, stretching it out, going D to D, and now Benoit with a flip pass ahead. Nylander gets to the line and in, and Tavares down the board sends it around back of the net. Willie trying to center it in front. He had Cowan coming right down the slot, but never got the puck to him. Now Carolina unable to get in over the line. Puck stolen, but then stolen back by the Hurricanes, and they'll play it out at center, and a bouncing disc comes to the left wing boards, and it'll be regrouped back into Carolina territory by Nikolai Ehlers. Brought out by Gostisbehere. Sent down into the Toronto zone. McCabe outfights his man for the puck. Played around the boards by Stetcher. Tavares trying to free it up. Stetcher adds some support there. Puck along the near boards. And McCabe still with it, but in running out of real estate, and then flipped to the line and not out. Kept alive now by Sebastian Aho, a centering pass. And again, Wall having to make the save and hold on for a face-off in the Toronto zone.
Well, starts with Shane Gostisbehere, the defenseman for the Hurricanes, coming down the left wing boards and not allowing the Leafs time or space to get it out. Austin Matthews took a shot off the ankle in his last shift. Look to be
Left
laboring
leg
a bit.
Austin Matthews has not had a multi-goal game this season without an empty netter. And that was the one game against Nashville that he scored twice, one into the empty net. And, of course, when he had the big season, he had 6 hat tricks. As a good save made by Wall, and the Leafs are able to break it out. Robertson getting it ahead, cut off, and sent back at center ice. To the left wing boards now for Nikolai Ehlers. Ehlers dropping it off to the point. Long shot, deflects wide of the goal. Cleared by Lawton around on the wall, and it's going to skip its way all the way down into Carolina territory.
And he had the 6 hat tricks, 12 2-goal games as well. So 18 multi-goal games that year for Austin Matthews.
69 on the season. A pass up on the left wing, and down into Toronto territory it goes. And a whistle here is going to be an icing call, and so it's coming all the way back into the Carolina zone. They haven't played since Monday in that 1-0 overtime victory.
Nicholas Ehlers with the overtime winner for Carolina.
So the face-off is going to be in the Carolina zone, won by the Hurricanes. Brought quickly to center. In over the line, left wing side, Martinook centering pass. That went astray. Off the official and kept in. Puck into the corner and knocked away by Riley as it's played by Matthews along the boards, but it comes to the left wing side. Backhand pass in front of the goal just went wide. Now Domi getting it ahead on the right wing side, and Nyes is in. Nyes looking to drop for Matthews, who does with a wrist shot, and he snapped it high over top of the goal. Good play by Domi to keep the puck in at the blue line. Long shot deflects high. Leafs trying to have some zone time of their own, but the Hurricanes have flipped the puck out and down the ice, and Jake McCabe gets that car going into about neutral, maybe a bit reverse, in order to make sure it got over the line, and the icing is called.
Right now, the hot line has been, what would you call them, the third or the fourth line? With Dakota Joshua, Nick Waugh, and Bobby McMahon. For Bobby McMahon now, Joe, in his last 3 games, that's 2 goals and 5 points. And it all started in the Pittsburgh game in the second period.
Jake McCabe gets the additional assist on the McMahon goal, his 7th of the season. But Roy was the person that really kind of engineered it. And some good fortune as it hits the goal post and then the back of the leg of Frederick Anderson and into the net as it just dribbled over the line. Leafs shoot it down into the Carolina zone. Here's Joshua for Toronto to the open corner. Roy allows Riley to pinch and backs up the pinch, but the puck comes up on the wing, and Jankowski trying to get it through center, gives the puck away, and it's played over on the near boards now by Roy, and the Leafs will backtrack it into their own zone. 12:57 to go in the first period. A 1-0 score. Anderson almost gave the puck away, but it's cleared around now, and Eric Robinson will get it into the Toronto zone, where Benoit rattles it around the boards to the far side. A stationary John Tavares gives it off now to Myers, who shoots it down into Carolina territory. Back to the blue line, Myers in along the boards, and now the Leafs have it back of the net for Nylander. Nylander looking in front for Tavares. Tavares back to the point. It bounced over Myers' stick and has gone all the way back into Toronto territory. Myers trying a quick up to find Nylander. Nylander to Benoit. Benoit to the near side. Cowan's going to roll it towards the net. Cleared into the corner by Anderson. And now Gostisbehere will get it around the wall past Tavares. And out come the Hurricanes to center. Svechnikov gets it in over the line. Checked there by Nylander. And Tavares has it out over the blue line, but has run into a horde of... can you have a horde of Hurricanes?
Yeah, I think that's what it is.
Now brought in over the line. Shot high over top of the net. Chopped along the boards to the line. And kept in now by Toronto. Stetcher in along the right wing boards. Took a shot. And it was off the chest of Anderson and smothered by the veteran goalkeeper to hold for a face-off. The Maple Leafs on a goal by Bobby McMahon have a 1-0 lead in Carolina. You're listening to Molson Leaf Hockey on Sportsnet 590 The Fan and the Maple Leafs Radio Network.
SiriusXM is the home for the best in podcasts, including Literally with Rob Lowe.
Hey everybody, it's Rob Lowe here. Literally is really just an opportunity for me to connect with old friends, fellow actors, people that I admire. You'll hear conversations with Jennifer Aniston, Michael J. Fox, Tiffany Haddish, Oprah, Conan O'Brien, assorted brat packers. We converse through every fork in the road, from deeply thoughtful to extremely random.
Literally with Rob Lowe is available now on the SiriusXM app.
Hockey 24/7 on Sirius XM NHL Network Radio.
Connor Bedard. Nobody said last year was bad, but what we're seeing now, he's the dog on the bone. It was almost as if he had some cement in his skates last year, and he wasn't F1 ever. He's different. This has been different. He wasn't bad last year. He was good. Now he's great right now.
Sirius XM NHL Network Radio.
Sirius XM 91.
And on your schedule with the Sirius XM app.
Experience the pinnacle of club soccer in the UEFA Champions League on Sirius XM FC. This is the place where legends are born.
Merseyside magic from Mo Salah.
Dynasties are built.
Real Madrid do what they do best.
And history is made.
It is a night to remember for Paris Saint-Germain.
Hear the top Champions League matches all season long on Sirius XM FC 157 and the Sirius XM app.
Join me, Gord Stellick, and Scott Laughlin as we recap the night that was on NHL Morning Skate, weekday mornings at 7 a.m. Eastern on NHL Network Radio, Sirius XM 91.
And the Leafs Radio Network.
Kelly Yarncrook, Dakota Mermis, and Matthias Michelli are scratches tonight, and I read a great quote from former collegiate basketball coach Bobby Knight, who never pulled punches. He said, "The greatest motivator in the world is your ass on the bench. Ass meets bench. Bench retains ass. Ass transmits signals to brain. Brain transmits signals to the body. Body gets ass off the bench and plays better." Hell of a sequence. And he's probably right. We've seen Max Domi a healthy scratch and play better since. So it's a coaching tool.
Yeah, well, like we say, and it's also dangerous from a player's standpoint, because if it works, then you know you're going to have a bad game. He's going to do it again.
Nick Robertson come to mind?
Your leash might be a little shorter if you're saying, okay, this is what it takes to motivate you.
Yep.
And we're not talking your upper-end players. They're going to play regardless.
Draw one by Toronto in their own zone. Played up on the wing, but cut off. And then now the Leafs are able to muscle it out over the line. The battle ensues there, and it'll be regrouped deeper in Toronto territory. Played to the line and out and down into Carolina territory, but it had enough to go for icing, and so it'll be brought back. Ryan Jackson and Killian McNamara are the linesmen tonight. Gord Dwyer and Trevor Hansen are the referees. McMahon from Roy and McCabe at 53 seconds is the goal that's on the board. 1-0 Toronto. Face-off won by the Hurricanes. Stepping in with a shot, and that was off a body and went just wide, as Sean Walker had a great look there. Almost from the same spot that Bobby McMahon scored on, wasn't it? Played off the boards to center and out at center ice. Now Stahl going back into his own zone. Dropped off. Nikishin gets it up at center to the Leaf zone and in. Round back of the net. Domi reverses the puck. Poke to the line, but not out. Comes in front of the net. Good save with the glove made there by Wall, but he couldn't catch it. And it goes around back of the net. Played by McMahon to the line, and now brought out at center ice by Benoit. Benoit will shoot it in, and around the boards it comes to the near side. Matthews unable to reach it. So could Nyes. A puck goes high in the air. Matthews trying to keep it in. Does. Nyes unable to reach it, though, and it is played high to center ice by Carolina. Leafs right back in over the line with Domi. Back in for Matthews, but it bounced away from him. Cleared to the line, but not out. Leafs unable to keep it in cleanly, and then when they do, it is an offside that is whistled down and will be brought back into the center ice area. Leafs won, and the Carolina Hurricanes no score. You're listening to Molson Leaf Hockey on Sportsnet 590 The Fan and the Maple Leafs Radio Network.
Betting partner of the NHL. Must be 19 or older. Ontario only. Please play responsibly. If you or someone you know has concerns about gambling, visit connexontario.ca. T&Cs apply.
Okay, category is ways Desjardins Insurance goes the extra mile to make insurance easy. First question, what are some of the things you can easily do online or in the app?
Oh, view your policy.
Add a new driver.
Oh, update your address when you move.
Easy. You guys are good.
Get insurance that's really big on care. Desjardins Insurance. Here for your home, auto, life, and business needs. Certain conditions apply.
The scrape of blades, the clash of sticks. Hockey's more than a game. It's unrelenting, never-give-up moments that make you feel alive. And so you commit to the weekly ups and downs, the long road to the playoffs. You wear your heart on your sleeve and your jersey with pride. And when you're there for your team, the NHL Shop is there for you. Check out the largest selection of official NHL gear at nhlshop.ca. A Fanatics experience.
You're listening to Toronto Maple Leafs hockey.
They score! One-timer! Austin Matthews!
On Sportsnet 590 The Fan and the Leafs Radio Network.
First period is presented by Bet365. Download the app and find out why. It's never ordinary at Bet365. 1-0 Toronto. Bobby McMahon from Roy and McCabe.
Well, sometimes you can tell what a player's thought of when he scores a goal by the rest of his team. And when Scott Laughton scored the third goal against Florida, it was, you could see it just charged up the entire bench. They were so happy for Laughton to finally put one in for his first of the year.
He's a great teammate, and he's unbelievable in the room. As it's played around to the far side, chipped back towards the blue line by Cowan, but now the Hurricanes get it out at center. Leafs send it back to the blue line, but Cowan couldn't get it again, and now Carolina right back in. Tavares back-checking diligently on his man. The puck comes to Cowan. He makes a nice little pass on the wing, but unable to control it cleanly was Stetcher, and it's back along the boards and now centered in front of the goal. Big save made by Wall, and another sprawling save made by the Leaf netminder. He didn't have anything spectacular, really, the other night. I'd say there's been at least 3 here already.
Yeah, and this was Troy Stetcher. The puck is lobbed into the Leaf zone. He gloves it, knocks it down, and tries to go up the right wing boards. But there were 2 Hurricanes cutting it off on the right wing side. First one, he was able to get it past, but the second one was blocked. And that's what led to the scoring attempt. 16-7 shot attempts for Carolina, although the shots are holding a little closer at 6-4. Shots that actually made it to the net.
The puck out at center, and it is fired into Carolina territory. Anderson pumping along the boards, gets by everybody and slides down into the zone. Riley in a foot race to get back, and now plays it around back of the net. And Oliver Ekman-Larsson gets it along the boards, and the Leafs have it now trying to break it out at center. McMahon got it to center, but a glove pass is whistled down, and it'll be a face-off coming in the center ice area as a result. But you get goaltending that has a .924 save percentage. Your trick now is keep the shots under 30. Right?
Well, and even with, forget the shots. Look at what Carolina did in Toronto. It wasn't so much the quantity of shots, but they were giving up. It was 3 breakaways in the second period.
Yeah.
And, limit what you're asking your goaltender to do.
Here are the Hurricanes keeping the puck in again. It comes in front of the net, cut off now by Myers. He skates up the left wing boards to center and will shoot it in. Robertson can't get into the Leafs, get again, and they score! Oh my, it's Scotty Laughton again! Holy Mackinac, what a break! It comes off the stanchion out in front, and bingo, bango, bungo, it's 2-0.
Two incredible breaks for the Leafs in this game. Philip Myers, left wing side, dumps it into the Carolina zone up on the glass. And Freddie Anderson loses it and actually looks to his left, goes from his right to his left, and the puck popped back out short side onto the stick of Scott Lawton, who has scored in back-to-back games. Neither goal will be featured in the Hockey Hall of Fame, I don't believe. But the Leafs are getting some breaks.
Second goal of the season for Lawton, and the Maple Leafs have a 2-0 lead. Myers is going to get the lone assist, and what a break that was. Carolina back into the attack. Into the far corner. It goes back of the net. Domi ties his man up. The puck comes off the boards to the near wing, but it'll be chopped back into the corner. Leafs after it there. Domi trying to free it up, but can't get it out. Comes back into the slot area, and a wrist shot is off the mark wide. Rebound in the far corner. Leafs trying to find an open man, and they do, and it'll be Stetcher getting the puck high into neutral ice. And a penalty probably coming here. Yes, one of the Hurricanes was taken down. I think it'll be Nyes going to the box. Anderson to the bench, and back of their goal with it now is Nikishin. He gets it ahead. Brought on by Sebastian Aho. In on the left wing, and a shot blocked away nicely by Wall. Comes back to the blue line and out at center ice. And it'll be all the way back into Carolina territory.
Yeah, it was Nyes and Matthews both there. Took the Carolina player
touched
down.
Now by Tavares. Here is the penalty, and it may be Austin Matthews getting the gate. So the first power play opportunity of the game is going to come to the Carolina Hurricanes. And ironically, as well as the Hurricanes are playing, 34 points, 16, 7, and 2, their power play is worse than the Maple Leafs, 10 of 73. The Leafs are 10 of 66.
Yeah, they're even only 3 for 23 in their last 8 games coming in. And the Leaf penalty kill is better of late. They've killed 13 of 14 off in the last 6.
Draw in the Toronto zone. Pumped around the boards to the far side and rattled along the wall. Out and down the ice it goes.
Important to winning that draw, right? And that was Scott Lawton that did it.
He remains out there as Gostisbehere carries to center. Aho in on the left wing for Svechnikov. Sharp angle try. Stopped by Wall. Played around the boards for Aho. Aho's pass goes off of Lawton. Lawton can't get it out, though. Aho down the right wing boards. Banks it back to the blue line to find Gostisbehere. Former Flyer gets it into the corner and then back to him. Gostisbehere walks the line. Left wing pass. No shot yet. Back to Gostisbehere. He fakes the shot. Onto the left wing side, looking for a try here is Jackson Blake. Centering pass intercepted and shot down the ice by Toronto with 1:05 to go in the power play. 6 minutes left in the first period, and the Maple Leafs are leading 2-0 and are fortunate to be in that situation. And I'm not speaking about their defensive play. I'm just talking about the goals. Now Anderson out of the goal on a rolling puck. Has to control it to Gostisbehere. 2 huge breaks to provide the goals. And it's brought in over the line now by the Hurricanes. A pass back to the blue line, just kept in. Gostisbehere down into the corner. Played back by Blake. It comes back to Gostisbehere again. Near side for Blake. He couldn't handle the puck. Chipped along the boards by Seth Jarvis. Blake centering pass. Off a stick, but not out. Gostisbehere keeping it in. Blake again down into the corner, left wing side, and a wrist shot is swallowed up by Wall off the stick of Andrei Svechnikov.
Just 12 seconds to go now in the Carolina power play. Out shooting the Leafs 9-4. Leafs did a pretty good job there getting their sticks into lanes. Carolina a couple of times tried to go through the middle of the ice, through the slot to find somebody out in front. Morgan Riley had a good tip. So Carolina, good control in the power play, but nothing really clean cut on Joe Wall.
McCabe gets it around back of the goal and then backhands, but can't get it out. Now a point shot. Wall covers up for him. He took that on the chest as he was in the butterfly and stops play for another faceoff with 3 seconds left in the power play. So Matthews is coming out of the penalty box, and I'm sure the 4 defenders are quite cognizant of that. Should a faceoff be won here?
He throws John Tavares out to take the draw here.
Nope, Scotty Lawton will take the draw. And the draw won by the Hurricanes. A shot blocked, cleared on the boards, and the Hurricanes will keep the puck in. Now it goes off a stick and comes out at center, and Matthews has it. Matthews to the line and in on the left wing. Flipped it into the corner. Around back of the net now is Lorenz. Back to the point it goes. Oliver Ekman-Larsson with a shot. That redirected off Matthews and had to be stopped by Anderson. Nylander joins the rush. Nylander fit for Matthews, and he snapped it over top of the goal, and Anderson is going to cover up on the rebound that comes off the end boards with 4:33 to play in the first period, and Toronto leading 2-0.
Boy, that's 3 great opportunities in this game for Matthews. None of them have resulted in shots on goal.
You're listening to Molson Leaf Hockey on Sportsnet 590 The Fan and the Maple Leafs Radio Network.
What does your favorite MLB team need to make a move in 2026?
There's a difference between talent and building a baseball team.
MLB Network Radio on Sirius XM has live coverage of baseball's winter meetings.
Deals could pop at any moment.
Hear interviews with decision makers and expert analysis of every move.
This is a huge, huge deal.
Comprehensive coverage of baseball's winter meetings begins Sunday at 4 Eastern on MLB Network Radio, Channel 89, and on the Sirius XM app.
Hockey 24/7 on Sirius XM NHL Network Radio.
Connor Bedard. Nobody said last year was bad, but what we're seeing now, he's the dog on the bone. It was almost as if he had some cement in his skates last year, and he wasn't F1 ever. He's different. This has been different. He wasn't bad last year. He was good. Now he's great right now.
Sirius XM NHL Network Radio. Sirius XM 91. And on your schedule with the Sirius XM app.
Experience the pinnacle of club soccer in the UEFA Champions League on Sirius XM FC. This is the place where legends are born.
Merseyside magic from Mo Salah.
Dynasties are built.
Real Madrid do what they do best.
And history is made.
It is a night to remember for Paris Saint-Germain.
Hear the top Champions League matches all season long on Sirius XM FC 157 and the Sirius XM app.
The biggest names in the game.
Trying to get behind Ristolainen, walks in, put it between his legs, shoots it, score!
NHL play-by-play on Sirius XM Radio Network.
4 minutes and 33 seconds left to play in the first period. Joe Woll has had an excellent first period. 10 shots. The Leafs have had 6, 2 of which are in the back of the net. And they have had good luck attached to both of them.
Well, I mean, you even go back to the Pittsburgh game, right?
Played along the boards to the line, but not out. Tavares in forechecking. Nylander blocks that and then tried to find Cowan, and he ended up losing an edge and falling and never getting to the puck. Now Aho tries to send it. They do in front, and they score. Seth Jarvis finishes after it looked like Cowan was going to get a real good opportunity at the other end. And the Carolina Hurricanes counterattack quickly and cut the lead in half. It's 2-1.
Well, we talk about the lesser lights filling the net at the other end of the ice. You don't want your top guys on for goals against. It was a nice play by Carolina, but Easton Cowan just a little late getting over to Seth Jarvis. It was a great pass across the top of the crease. There was no chance for Joseph Woll to move that quick from his right to his left to get there before Jarvis put in his 16th. Team leader in goals scored, Seth Jarvis.
But if Cowan doesn't lose an edge and keeps the puck in, he's got a glorious chance at the other end of the rink. But he lost his edge, and the puck comes out, and that's when the Hurricanes counterattacked, and now he's getting his skate looked at and visibly upset at the Leaf bench, and then trying to bring the puck in was Joshua, but it was offside. So a great scoring opportunity for the Carolina Hurricanes comes after an unfortunate happenstance for Cowan.
Seth Jarvis, by the way, was the draft pick that Carolina got from Toronto in taking the Patrick Marleau contract. so they can thank the Leafs in part for that.
Puck down in the Toronto zone. Played ahead for Roy. He skates to the red line, weaves in on the right side, got through the defense. Puck was cleared by Anderson into the corner. Now the Leafs trying to add some pressure as it comes around the wall, but it's going to go all the way out and down the ice. And an icing call will come here against Carolina.
Leafs did have a
They'll bring
two-goal.
it back.
They had a 2-goal lead at home against Carolina. They were down 2-1, scored 3 straight to take a 4-2 lead late in the second period, and Carolina, during that stretch for the Leafs where they were blowing all kinds of leads, ended up winning at 5-4 in regulation.
Costas Bear and Aho get the assists on the Jarvis goal. 3:43 to play here in the first period. Draw one by Toronto. A pass in the slot, knocked away by the Hurricanes. Good hustle on the boards, though, by Nyes. And a shot was redirected by Matthews in front of the net, but Anderson got a piece of it. Now Matthews around back of the goal, far side for Domi. Domi reverses the puck for Nyes. Nyes tied up on the wall, lost the handle on it. Domi is able to keep it alive momentarily, and then it is cleared high. Did that go into the bench? Yes, it did, says the linesman. Although the one closest to the bench didn't see it. It was whistled down by his compatriot.
Well, you like the fact that the Leafs, they give up Carolina's first goal of the game and then the push back the other way. First the Waugh line and now the Matthews line. Getting some offensive zone time. Shots on goal a little closer at 11-8 now. Favoring Carolina.
Face-off coming in the Carolina zone, I would assume. After the puck went out at their bench. But we haven't seen the face-off circle there. We have? No, it is deep in Carolina territory. Although it's being discussed here by the officials as to how it went out.
And I think it might be, was the Leaf player outside the line? Did it go off a Toronto player outside the line?
McCabe is inside the line.
Oh, no, it looked like it hit the linesman.
Hit the linesman,
didn't it?
Yep. Yeah, I think you're right. So the face-off remains in the Carolina zone. After all of that discussion, Leafs have won 14 of the 25 face-offs. And now waved out is Lawton. So Lorenz will take the draw. Robertson poised in the slot, but the puck comes free. And it is Carolina flipping it high to center ice over an outstretched glove. Grabbed off by Riley. Fed around the boards to the far side. Leafs are going to get it out at center. Robertson was stationary. Lost the puck, but diligently gets back into the back check and takes it away. And then an errant pass, and now a centering feed in front of the goal. Still free. It's bouncing around, and the Maple Leafs still don't get a handle on it. Back to the point comes Carolina with a wrist shot in traffic, and it went high and wide. Hurricanes getting it back along the boards. All of this from a Robertson giveaway. Down into the corner and hauled down on the play. Two players, and it looks like it's going to be the Leaf who's going to get the penalty, and it may be Morgan Riley. He had a pretty good grab on the Carolina player.
And I think Carrier went down kind of easy to be able to draw that call. So second power play of the game goes to Carolina. But you're right. I mean, this all starts. A bit of it. As Riley was falling, he sort of pulled Carrier back on top of him. So you're going to have to eat that call. But like you said, you don't get scored on because of the giveaway, but you end up scrambling your own end and taking a penalty.
Face-off coming in the Toronto zone. 2:37 left in the period. Second power play opportunity for Carolina. Aho to take the face-off, won it cleanly, and it comes back to Gostisbehere, and then the one-timer on the far side was completely fanned on. Leafs are going to get a piece of it and fire it around the boards, but Aho does a great job blocking it on the near boards and keeping it in. Here are the Hurricanes in business again. Back to the point, Gostisbehere. Gostisbehere returns it to the right wing side. A pass into the near corner comes back to Aho. Aho against the boards. Matthews can't get it away from him. Back to the point, Gostisbehere. Walking the line, stolen by the Leafs. And Roy looks to see if an odd man rush might be affordable, and then decides, get a change, send it the length of the rink. Aho back the other way. In on the left wing side for Svechnikov. Back to the point. Gostisbehere again. Pass partially deflects off a couple of sticks. Lawton couldn't get to it. Now ties his man up. Puck post aside. Lawton gets it again. No mistake this time. And the veteran sends it out and down the ice with a minute left in the power play. Nikishkin back to retrieve it for Carolina. Got it ahead and in across the line and into the corner for Stankoven. Puck pushed ahead by the Maple Leafs to the line, and they get there to chip it the rest of the way into neutral ice, but quickly brought back by Taylor Hall. Hall to the left wing side. Into the corner trying to work out his Ehlers. Back to the point it comes. Here is a chance for Nikishkin to regroup it as he has it over on the left wing. Now back on the side for Ehlers. A shot deflects wide. Far side kept it at the point by Nikishkin. Nikishkin into the side of the net. The pass comes back to the half boards. Now a pass back this way, and it's out at center ice. I don't know about you, but I'm getting a headache from the vibrations that we're getting as far as the picture is concerned here. Brought back now by Carolina. To the line, almost stolen there by Matthews. Back into the right wing corner it goes. Back into the slot, near side, trying to work in. Svechnikov, shot blocked, big rebound in front, and it's pushed up on the wall, but not out. Back to the blue line once more. Down into the corner, and it goes off the stick of Taylor Hall. Hall gets it back again to the point. Penalty has expired. 20 seconds left to go in the period. Back to Gostisbehere. Gostisbehere circles into the near half boards. Shot in traffic. Well, not an awful lot of traffic, but it is caught on the chest by Joseph Woll, and he will stop play and hold on.
11.8 seconds to go here in the opening period. The thing about when you've got solid goaltending, Joe, or when you've got confidence in your goaltender, now you don't feel like you have to do extra. You don't have to cheat. You don't have to take away the pass and the shot. And everybody's a little more concerned about you staying in your own lane, your own responsibility.
Draw one again by Carolina. A weak shot, blockered away by Woll. Back of the net it goes. 4 seconds left in the period. Leafs trying to get out of the first with a lead, and they'll do just that. Joseph Woll has a strong first period, and the Leafs get a couple of gimme goals. One by Bobby McMahon off the stanchion and in, and Scotty Lawton getting a goal as well on a funny little pass. It comes deflecting out in front of the net off a stanchion, and it is 2-0 Toronto. The goal then by Jarvis cuts the lead in half, but a 2-1 lead after 20.
Yeah, it was great to get the 2-0 lead. Carolina, by the way, when scoring first, have won 12 of 14 when they've opened the scoring. So they're a hard team to play against when they've got the lead. The Leafs have to keep pushing in the offensive zone in the second period.
Shots favor Carolina 13-8 in the first period, but the Maple Leafs have the lead. We'll step aside. Ailish Forfar along with Justin Cuthbert coming your way. You're listening to Molson Leaf Hockey on Sportsnet 590 The Fan and the Maple Leafs Radio Network.
It's Jimmy Fallon, and I'm back. Get ready for the holidays with my exclusive Sirius XM channel full of classic holiday songs handpicked by me.
Simply having a wonderful Christmas time.
Jimmy Fallon's Holiday Seasoning Radio. It's super fun. Check out Channel 15 on Sirius XM. Get seasoning now through December 26th live.
Hockey 24/7 on Sirius XM NHL Network Radio.
Connor Bedard. Nobody said last year was bad, but what we're seeing now, he's the dog on the bone. It was almost as if he had some cement in his skates last year, and he wasn't F1 ever. He's different. This has been different. He wasn't bad last year. He was good. Now he's great right now.
Sirius XM NHL Network Radio. Sirius XM 91, and on your schedule with the Sirius XM app. NHL Morning Skate.
Eric Tulsky's the general manager in Carolina.
Are you still a team that looks to go big game hunting via trades?
It's very easy as a manager when you have a good team to get conservative. Just let it play out and hope for the best. And that's not our philosophy here. We don't want to just sit back and call it good enough. We want to keep looking for ways to make the team better.
NHL Morning Skate with Scott Laughlin and Gord Stellick. Weekdays 7 a.m. Eastern on NHL Network Radio, Sirius XM 91, and the Sirius XM app. Under review.
And stop making excuses for bad goaltending. And is it bad? Is it horrendous?
if you don't win because you don't make a save or two, yeah. The nature of it is the goaltender is responsible for 90% of the action. He's got to stop the puck. Why do we keep making apologies for goaltending? Stop it.
Under Review with Mick Kern, 11 a.m. Eastern on NHL Network Radio, Sirius XM 91, and the Sirius XM app.
Experience the pinnacle of club soccer in the UEFA Champions League on Sirius XM FC. This is the place where legends are born.
Merseyside magic from Mo Salah.
Dynasties are built.
Real Madrid do what they do best.
And history is made.
It is a night to remember for Paris Saint-Germain.
Hear the top Champions League matches all season long on Sirius XM FC 157 and the Sirius XM app.
The best player analysts and insiders live on NHL Network Radio. Mike Johnson.
Just the nature of the NHL. As bad as things seem, as good as things seem, the NHL just has a way of leveling out. Everyone is doing okay. And it's just one real clump in the middle. No one's really separating. No one's really falling off completely.
Get the latest opinion and analysis you need on the home of hockey. NHL Network Radio, Sirius XM 91, and the Sirius XM app.
The NHL is on Sirius XM.
3-on-1, Connor McDavid, right circle, dishes, gets it back and scores.
With your favorite team's calls all season long.
It's a power play goal for Matthew Tkachuk.
The rivalries, the big goals, the moments you wait for. Plus, insiders to bring you closer to the decisions that shape the league.
Commissioner of the NHL, Mr. Gary Bettman.
NHL Network Radio, where the hockey talk never stops. On Sirius XM 91 in the car and the Sirius XM app.
MLS, NWSL, the USL, and more covering the beautiful game here at home. American soccer lives on Sirius XM FC 157.
Leafs Radio Network.
He skates up the left wing boards to center and will shoot it in. Robertson can't get into the Leafs get again, and they score! Oh my, it's Scotty Lawton again! Holy Mackinac, what a break! It comes off the stanchion out in front, and bingo, bango, bungo, it's 2-0.
Welcome back to Molson Leafs Hockey on Sportsnet 590, The Fan and the Maple Leafs Radio Network. The first intermission is brought to you by Popeyes. Score a Popeyes chicken sandwich for only $6 in classic or spicy. Make it your new game day tradition. Get your $6 chicken sandwich at a Popeyes near you. Toronto Maple Leafs ahead in the first period, 2-1 after some very interesting goals, but they'll be happy with that.
Yeah, the difference in the period, something served up to Scott Lawton in that period. A bad bounce and comes right in front for Scott Lawton to bang home. We talked about him in the pregame.
Mm-hmm.
Important to this Leafs team. I think it's a growing influence he's having. He's lucky now to get back-to-back goals or goals in back-to-back games, but he'll take it, and the Maple Leafs will take production from that fourth line for sure.
Yeah, good stat from Nick Barden on Twitter. The last time Scott Lawton scored goals in back-to-back games was in March 2024. The two teams it was against were the Maple Leafs and the Hurricanes, and he's now on the Maple Leafs, of course, and that was against the Hurricanes. So maybe we should have looked into the numbers of back-to-back goals by Scott Lawton.
Maybe we should have. If we look into the numbers in the first period, pretty common Carolina Hurricanes period. Possession over 70%. Scoring chances over 65%, the shots 12-8 overall, and they really did tilt the run of play in their favor in the back half of the period. The Maple Leafs jumping out to a 2-0 lead, Carolina getting one back and pushing for the equalizer. They could have had an equalizer before the end of the period. Joseph Wall was very good. The Hurricanes do what they do. They just are relentless. They have two bad bounces or two unfortunate breaks go their way or down 2-0 early, and they just do what Carolina does. It's just you kind of set your watch to it by now with Rod Brendamore and this team.
So the Scott Lawton goal gives the Maple Leafs lead, and as you heard in Bonesy's great call, but it was a funky sitch. Shot down the ice, basically hits the stanchion behind Frederik Andersen, bounces out directly in front of the net, and Scott Lawton buries it. And, very fortunate, but right time, right place. He was dog on the bone right in front of the net, puts it in. But Bobby McMahon's goal to start the game was another first shot of the game goal for the Maple Leafs. And that is now their first shot on goal. Sorry. It is now their fourth first shot on goal consecutively. That's hard to say. Fourth
game
where
where
in a
they've
row.
scored on their first shot.
You know what I'm trying to say, folks. And that's crazy. Like, that is pretty unbelievable. The first shot on goal goes in 4 times in a row, and this time it's Bobby McMahon at 53 seconds into the first period, and it at least become the second team since the 09-10 season to score in 4 consecutive games on the first shot, joining the Tampa Bay Lightning.
Yeah, I don't know what law it is, maybe law of averages, whatever it may be. But there was a time in this Maple Leafs season, the first 6 weeks of the season, really, where the Maple Leafs just could not score first. Like, impossible for them to play with a lead, and how that swings back dramatically in your favor. You spend 4 straight games on the road, mind you, scoring with your very first shot of the game. Everything evens out over time. That's why there's no excuses in an 82-game regular season schedule.
So I think, I don't even know if that's a mental thing in the dressing room where they're like, get that first shot on net. You never know what happens. But with Freddie Anderson, it was your key to victory to pepper him with shots, and it goes in. That's a good thing.
It does, but they need more, right? 8 shots in the periods, I guess, respectable. But against the Carolina Hurricanes team, you know they're going to get 12 to 15 per period. That's just what they do. So it's a lot on the goaltender to be perfect. It's not like this is playing out exactly as it did in the first meeting of the season, but the Maple Leafs did have a lead and chose to sit on it to a certain degree, or at least it felt like that. And you can't really do that against Carolina, because sitting back just doesn't work against a relentless team on the rush and in the forechecking game. So I think you're going to need a few more shots.
Definitely.
Do the same thing against Freddie as you did in the first period. Jump all over it. You're going to have a chance to score some goals in this game. But Carolina's probably not going to stop scoring.
How many first shot of the period goals have they had consecutively? Let's find out. They could do it again in the second. But you're right. That Seth Jarvis's goal was just a bit of sloppy puck watching for the Maple Leafs, kind of running around, and Easton Cowan was frustrated. He was kind of on the end of that one going in. You saw him on the bench slamming a stick a bit, but it was just a bit of a sloppy defensive zone coverage that led to the Jarvis goal.
Yeah, I was just going to say, he was there to make the play. He got to the position. He's a winger, and he's tracking back and I guess covering for a defenseman or his centerman in that moment. And yeah, he was there. He just didn't make the play. Execution problem, I think, rather than a completely blown coverage.
I think that's fair. Let's take a quick break. We'll get back to you with the out-of-town scoreboard, and we'll get you set for the second period. You're listening to Molson Leafs Hockey on Sportsnet 590 The Fan and the Maple Leafs Radio Network.
An official betting partner of the NHL. Must be 19 or older. Ontario only. Please play responsibly. If you or someone you know has concerns about gambling, visit connexontario.ca. T&Cs apply.
Hockey. It's taken over our basements, our driveways, and our backyards. And at Rona, we wouldn't change a thing. That's why we make sure your home can take any hits hockey throws its way. So hockey can keep taking over your laundry rooms, your living rooms, your garages, your kitchens. Make sure your home is ready for hockey season with Rona. Build it right, build it Rona.
Heard of Uline? You know, the have-it-all in-stock, ready-to-deliver shipping and industrial supply specialists. The company that does things for you that are unheard of, like keeping 41,000 items in stock in our own warehouses. With customer service reps on the line to get you what you need, when you need it, 24/7, 365, every time. Maybe you heard it here first. Want to hear more? Visit uline.ca. ULINE, your shipping and industrial supply specialists.
Wherever Canadians raise a glass, you'll find Molson. There's a good reason for that. When you've been in Canada for over 230 years, you get around. In the cups and fridges of Canadians, generation after generation, Molson has a beer for everyone. So raise a glass or cup or whatever you pour your Molson in. Because it doesn't matter what it's in, it matters where it's from. Canadian, export, ultra, excel, Molson. Everyone in. Must be legal drinking age.
The legendary Yeti, born to handle ice, snow, and the harshest conditions imaginable.
Hey, that's like a Subaru with all-wheel drive.
The mighty Yeti uses its impressive strength to navigate any terrain.
Like the X mode in a Subaru.
No one knows exactly what they do out there.
Usually snowboarding, sometimes skating if I find a pair that fits. Legendary winters await, so hurry into your local Subaru dealer for lease and finance rates as low as 1.49%. Conditions apply. See dealer for details. Subaru, uncommon comes standard.
The fall get-together is here at Canadian Blood Services.
which means it's the perfect time to grab your crew, hit up a donor center, and experience what you get when you give together. It's not just about donating blood and plasma. It's about showing up and feeling like we actually did something.
Jesse, you're up.
Awesome. Be right there. Book an appointment today at blood.ca and experience what you get when you give. Canadian Blood Services. Who's saving who?
You're listening to Toronto Maple Leafs hockey.
Centering scores! Max Domi! My goodness!
On Sportsnet 590 The Fan and the Leafs Radio Network.
Welcome back to Molson Leafs Hockey on Sportsnet 590 The Fan and the Maple Leafs Radio Network. A 2-1 lead for the Maple Leafs after 20 minutes. The out-of-town scoreboard is presented by Bet365. Download the app and find out why it's never ordinary at Bet365.
It's a 2019 Stanley Cup Final rematch, and the Boston Bruins have a 2-0 lead over the St. Louis Blues. Alex Steeves with his 6th of the season already in that one. The Rangers have a 2-1 lead over the Ottawa Senators. Goals from Vladislav Gavrikov and Mika Zibanejad. It's 1-0 Penguins leading the Lightning after one period. The Panthers have a 1-0 lead over the Nashville Predators. Also end of one. Carter Verhaeghe scoring in that one. The Avalanche don't lose in regulation, but they're threatening to. The Islanders have a 2-0 lead, end of one over Colorado. It is scoreless between the Red Wings and Blue Jackets. That one's about halfway through the first period and still to come tonight. The Red Hot Wild will be in Calgary to take on the Flames. The Oilers will host the Kraken. And the Chicago Blackhawks and Connor Bedard will be in Tinseltown, take on the Kings.
Tinseltown. You know what? I love working with you, but I do enjoy Gord Stellick's out-of-town scoreboards a little bit more.
You said that before. What is, like, I'm trying. What is he doing?
When I'm off next week, you let him do an out-of-town scoreboard.
It's
And
my territory. I'm not letting him do a single one more out-of-town scoreboard. It's not happening.
He's so good at it. And I think you're great, and I appreciate your effort, but you'll just never be Gord. He's just got a little pizzazz to him.
Okay. I'll
just pizzazz it up
on the
next
pizzazz.
time.
I thought Tinseltown was...
See, that's what made me think of Gord.
Okay.
Because he would do that.
Speaking of reactions, 53 seconds in, third line scoring another goal. Bobby McMahon, they were feeling themselves a little bit after that goal.
Yeah,
feeling pretty good.
They should
good
be.
reaction. I think, the success of not necessarily Nick Waugh, but getting Dakota Joshua going, getting that third line going, an identity. Bobby McMahon maybe completing that trio. It's good to see that line feeling good about themselves.
It's the good vibes line right now.
And it wasn't a couple weeks ago.
Completely different vibe for them. But it's good to have them rolling, you know? And they're getting good bounces. Sometimes you got to get, you have to be lucky to be good, but sometimes you got to be good, and then you get lucky. So right now something's happening with them, and it's very nice to watch.
Not much of a that was a bounce. Not much of a Scott Lott bounce, though. He had the bounce of the first period.
He sure did. All right, a 2-1 lead for the Maple Leafs after 20 minutes on the road against the Carolina Hurricanes. Jim Ralph and Joe Bone will have the call of the second period next. You're listening to Molson Leafs Hockey on Sportsnet 590 The Fan and the Maple Leafs Radio Network.
Your home for the biggest stories in the league is Sirius XM NFL Radio.
This is Bruce Murray from the Sirius XM Blitz. It's week 14 and the stretch run begins with playoff seeding on the line.
The Bears can compete offensively now. They're consistent where they need to be.
And it features two of the best rivalries in the NFL with the Bears and Packers and the Steelers and Ravens.
Lamar Jackson is in! Touchdown Ravens!
Sirius XM NFL Radio Channel 88 and the Sirius XM app.
Hockey 24/7 on Sirius XM NHL Network Radio.
Connor Bedard. Nobody said last year was bad, but what we're seeing now, he's the dog on the bone. It was almost as if he had some cement in his skates last year, and he wasn't F1 ever. He's different. This has been different. He wasn't bad last year. He was good. Now he's great right now.
Sirius XM NHL Network Radio. Sirius XM 91. And on your schedule with the Sirius XM app.
Experience the pinnacle of club soccer in the UEFA Champions League on Sirius XM FC. This is the place where legends are born.
Merseyside magic from Mo Salah.
Dynasties are built.
Real Madrid do what they do best.
And history is made.
It is a night to remember for Paris Saint-Germain.
Hear the top Champions League matches all season long on Sirius XM FC 157 and the Sirius XM app.
The best player analysts and insiders live on NHL Network Radio. Mike Johnson.
Just the nature of the NHL. As bad as things seem, as good as things seem, the NHL just has a way of leveling out. Everyone is doing okay, and it's just one real clump in the middle. No one's really separating. No one's really falling off completely.
Get the latest opinion and analysis you need on the home of hockey, NHL Network Radio, Sirius XM 91, and the Sirius XM app. The biggest names in the game.
Trying to get behind Ristolainen, walks in, put it between his legs, shoots it, score!
NHL play-by-play on Sirius XM.
Leafs Radio Network.
Joe Bowen along with Jim Ralph back here as the Maple Leafs have a 2-1 lead over the Carolina Hurricanes. Armin Zagarian and Andrew Holland keeping us on the air as the Maple Leafs try to expand on a modest 2-game win streak. 3-game win streak. What I'm saying, yes, it's not. It is a win streak now, as opposed to back-to-back wins.
Yeah, starting in Pittsburgh on a Saturday night, a big win in Ford on Tuesday.
Played into the center ice area. The Leafs moving from right to left. Get it off Matthews' stick down into the zone, but it's gone over the glass. And it'll be brought back out into the center ice area, I believe, to face it off.
And the other important thing, too, Joe, is this 6-game road trip was looming. And if you could win this and take 4 out of 6, and including games in Florida and against Carolina, which were considered 2 of the tougher games on this trip.
They have a 2-1 lead, being outshot 13-7. Hurricanes control the face-off, and it's brought out into the center ice area by Chatfield, who shoots the puck in, and we've got more visual problems going with our monitor here as it seems to be fluctuating a bit. Played down around back of the net, kept alive by Toronto, and Riley ran into a traffic jam. The puck comes in front of the net wall, couldn't trap it. Kept alive now with a centering pass. It'll go to the far wing, and it is Domi trying to play it high to center ice, looking there for Nyes. Nyes gets it a little bit further down into Carolina territory, and now here are the Hurricanes getting it to center and getting it across the line, and it is going to be on the offside, and it'll be brought back into the center ice area.
Well, they call him Ekman Larson might have been caught with a high stick that went undetected. Carolina, the only 2 power plays so far in this game. Leafs actually have the advantage in Florida. 3 power plays to 1.
I wouldn't say that they've had a game where you had 4, 5, 6, 7, whatever, just the opportunities with the man advantage. And then, of course, you and I are scared to death of the 5 forwards. So
yes.
Here the Hurricanes getting to center. Good rub out there by McCabe. Allows Stetcher to the puck, who sends it around on the wing. And then tripped up. And no call as Cowan was taken down. Aho trying to center it. And it goes into the screen. And the official getting an earful from Cowan. He got hauled down, and that's why the puck stayed in the zone and why there was a scoring chance. Wow. Never mind.
And you know what? That's a determining factor, too. If the infraction causes a turnover that allows a team a scoring opportunity.
Face off in the Toronto zone. Ottawa taking the draw for Toronto. Out there with Joshua and McMahon, and they didn't do the face-off according to Hoyle, so they'll do it all over again. Draw scrum, but the Leafs control. And they'll flip it to the line and out at center. Quickly shot right back in again. Carolina has to hold up as the puck comes around on the wall to the near side. And a centering pass goes back into the corner. Leafs unable to get to it, and it is poked along the boards and back to the point. A long shot is deflected wide of the Toronto goal. Onto the near wing for Taylor Hall. Hall centers, and it's going to be played out into the center ice area. And it'll be flipped back on the wing, and now getting back to retrieve it is Taylor Hall. Hall gets it up on the wing and into the Toronto zone. Benoit wiping it around the boards, but it won't clear. And now a centering pass comes off a stick, and now back to Hall. His shot in traffic went off a body and wide. Back of the net, Jankowski trying to get to it. It comes back to the point, and it'll be wristed wide of the Leaf goal. Down on the near boards and into the corner it goes for Chatfield. Round on the wing, cut off there by Bobby McMahon. McMahon trying to find an outlet, but can't. Kept alive by Chatfield, who sends it to the left wing side. Good pressure here. Stankoven with a long shot, and it's going to be swallowed up by Wall. And a face-off is going to come in the Toronto zone as a result.
Well, the Leafs are really having trouble with the forecheck of the Carolina Hurricanes. And it all started, Simon Benoit just threw it around the net, and there was no support there. The Leafs had all 5 players on the other side of the ice. Carolina was easily able to keep it in and then start throwing shots from the point from everywhere. 15-7 now the shots, Carolina.
But a 2-1 Toronto lead. Launched high to center ice. Off the stick of Lorenz. It's going to go down into the corner, and it'll be played around the board's far side. Lawton trying to maintain possession. Robertson helps him out. Robertson taken down in the corner. Lorenz after it. Plays it back on the boards, pinching down the Leaf defense, but a long lead pass goes astray, and the Leafs have it back at their own blue line. Turned up on the wing for Lawton. Glanced off the glass. It'll come to center. And Carolina is going to bring it right back in again. Blake, right wing side, sends it into the left wing corner. Stankoven gets it back to the point. Long shot blocked. Leafs have the rebound to center, and it's going to be alley-oop high into the zone, but Lorenz isn't going to be able to get there in time, and now cleared the length of the ice, but no icing. Apparently went off a Leaf player, as going back to retrieve it is Oliver Ekman-Larsson. He'll get it up on the right side and deflected down into Carolina territory. Anderson pumps it around the boards near side. Domi was late getting there to keep it in. Another rush in on the left wing, driving the net on a good opportunity there for Carrier, but it was knocked away and now cleared high by Toronto to center ice. Domi on the right wing. Doesn't get it into the zone. And the puck is still free in the center ice area and played down into the Toronto end. OEL goes back to retrieve it. Sends it up on the left wing boards. That doesn't get to Maple Leaf player. Then cleared back into Carolina territory, and it's going to turn into an icing. And it'll come all the way back into the Toronto end of the rink.
Leafs are just playing with fire here to start the second. A big push by Carolina. Oliver Ekman-Larsson, a good defensive play to take a scoring opportunity away.
Oh boy, he got a good stick there, didn't he?
From Carrier trying to drive to the net from the left wing.
Face off to the right of Wall. Carolina's doubled the shots on goal, 15-7. Pass in front, and a one-time effort there, fanned completely by Eric Robinson. Now a pass in front, or no, I guess that was Sebastian Aho. Aho gets it back to the point. Gostisbehere's shot doesn't make it through. Tipped out at center ice and a race for it. Gostisbehere's lost his stick. He hauls down Nyes, who's in on goal, and scores! Holy mackerel, what a play by Matthew Nyes. He beats Gostisbehere despite having a hold on him and goes in and scores to restore the 2-goal lead. And the Leafs have a 3-1 advantage.
But another break by the Leafs, Joe, where not only does Matthew Nyes get out to the point, but Gostisbehere loses his stick. So therefore, Nyes gets a little more free space as he's got a step on the Carolina defenseman that walks in alone on Freddie Anderson. Pressure coming from behind. He goes forehand. Looks like he's going to go to Anderson's right and then cuts back and chips the backhand short side on Freddie Anderson to give the Leafs their 3rd goal on 8 shots.
7th goal of the season for Nyes. And he got hauled down by Gostisbehere, regained his skates, then had to beat Aho to the net, and now here's Carolina back in business in the Toronto zone. Back to the point it goes. Off on the left wing side, and a wrist shot coming. Deflects wide of the goal, and it's knocked off Wall and back at the net, and the Leafs have it on the boards to get it up on the wing. And out at center ice it comes for Roy. He'll get it down into Carolina territory. Hurricanes with a pass up the middle and to the Leaf blue line and brought in with a long wrist shot taken by Taylor Hall and an easy catch for Joseph Woll to stop play. The Leafs with a 3-1 lead on a great play made by Matthew Knies to outfight a couple of Hurricanes to gain the advantage and give the Leafs back a 2-goal lead.
You know, now for Freddie Anderson, this is his 14th appearance. Now 12 out of the 14, he's given up at least 3 goals in a game. Came in with an .878 save percentage, and that's taken a hit so far.
Max Domi gets the only assist on the goal. It comes at 4:44 of the period. Cowan trying to tie his man up in the Toronto zone in the far corner. Puck is dug free. Coming out with a wrist shot is blocked. Grabbed by Cowan. Cowan trying to play it back to his defense, but has it taken away. And now the Hurricanes are back in business on the forecheck. They have had an abnormal amount of zone time compared to the Maple Leafs, who have been a quick strike offense. Hurricanes keeping the puck in on the far boards. Jarvis twisting and turning with it. Left wing side, top of the circle, into the slot, a one-timer. And that extended wall, I don't know if he got a piece of that or not, but he had to go a long way. Al Cowan getting it back to the blue line, but not into the zone any deeper. And an errant pass by Aho will turn into an icing against Carolina and be brought back into the Carolina zone. But Joseph Woll standing tall. He got the first star the other night, and I didn't think he should have, to be honest with you.
In the Florida game?
Yes. Yeah. And yeah, he played well. I know he only gave up the 1 goal, but I thought there were others that probably deserved the first star of that game. But right now, he may be all 3 stars right now. Leafs win the faceoff. Riley waiting for teammates to get in front, and a deflection was stopped by Anderson. Brought back the other way. Down into the Toronto zone it goes. Changes for Carolina. Allows Knies to skate to center to Domi. He'll shoot it in. Matthews down the boards. Engages Chatfield. Chatfield plays it around back of the net for Gostisbehere. Back for Chatfield. And it's going to come out at center ice. Domi can't get to it. And the Leafs are back at their own blue line, sending it to the Carolina blue line. Stolen back by Toronto. Domi waits for teammates to get onside before getting it to Knies, and a long shot is gloved by Frederik Andersen to stop play. And with 12:52 left to play in the period, we go to a commercial break. You're listening to Molson Leaf Hockey on Sportsnet 590 The Fan and the Maple Leafs Radio Network.
Bet365 partner of the NHL. Must be 19 or older. Ontario only. Please play responsibly. If you or someone you know has concerns about gambling, visit ConnexOntario.ca. TNCs apply.
The legendary Yeti, born to handle ice, snow, and the harshest conditions imaginable.
Hey, that's like a Subaru with all-wheel drive.
The mighty Yeti uses its impressive strength to navigate any terrain.
Like the X mode in a Subaru.
No one knows exactly what they do out there.
Usually snowboarding, sometimes skating if I find a pair that fits. Legendary winters await, so hurry into your local Subaru dealer for lease and finance rates as low as 1.49%. Conditions apply. See dealer for details. Subaru, uncommon comes standard.
Wherever Canadians raise a glass, you'll find Molson. There's a good reason for that. When you've been in Canada for over 230 years, you get around. In the cups and fridges of Canadians, generation after generation, Molson has a beer for everyone. So raise a glass, or cup, or whatever you pour your Molson in. Because it doesn't matter what it's in, it matters where it's from. Canadian, export, ultra, excel, Molson. Everyone in. Must be legal drinking age.
You're listening to Toronto Maple Leafs hockey.
Knies has tied the game, but a brilliant play by Max Domi
on Sportsnet 590 The Fan and the Leafs Radio Network.
Couple of additional assists on Toronto goals. It's now Lawton from Myers and Benoit. And the last goal here in the second period, Knies from Domi and Riley. And a 3-1 Toronto advantage.
Unfortunate, but that's one of the downsides with Carolina. We talk about other defense like to pinch a lot. Matthew Knies was kind of a tie to the puck, right? But Knies was able to chip it out, and at the same time to that collision, Gostisbehere loses a stick, and that allowed some free space for Nyes to take it all the way from the Leaf blue line to the Carolina goal.
I thought the best part of the play was his ability after getting hauled down
Get back
to
up.
regain his skates and his momentum, and then out-race Sebastian Aho to get the chance. Wide shot played out at center ice by Carolina. Leafs counter it right back in again with Lawton and Tavares. Tavares getting a turnaround shot. Lawton backhand, but over top of the goal, and Nylander almost bunted it in. It goes to the far corner. Lawton down around the boards. Lawton taking a turn on this line with Tavares and Nylander. Back to the point it comes. Cleared into the corner. There's Coach Berube talking about a hot hand. Let's get Scotty Lawton out there. Here's a wrap around by Tavares that went wide. Lawton back of the net for Nylander. Nylander back to Lawton. Lawton in the corner. Got some room, but couldn't get it back cleanly to Nylander. Now it comes up on the wing, and the Hurricanes will get it to the line, but not out. Long shoot in. Right wing side, Nylander in the corner. Stopped up before he went back of the net. Centers in front of the net, and unable to get a shot away there was Joshua coming off the bench. Roy adds his presence to the battle, and a bit of a late whistle, or a strange whistle. Puck came free, and they don't usually whistle those down along the board, so I'm not sure if there's something else that is transpiring here or not.
Well, I think that opportunity Willie Nylander had, Joe, I don't think it would have counted. He knocked it, with his glove.
Well, in volleyball it would have counted.
I think he was just trying to, even if you get it to a teammate, it's going to be whistled down, right?
Yep.
But you wonder how much of this is Scott Lawton has elevated his game, and how much of it was a couple of giveaways by Easton Cowan in this game.
Draw one by Toronto at the point. Oliver Ekman-Larsson with a shot. That might have hit Joshua in front of the net. He went down. Puck went into the corner, and now Carolina gets it down into the Toronto zone. Wall scooping it back into the corner. Official gets in the way. It's around back of the net. Played up on the wing for Roy. He is able to just get it out before it is shot right back in again. Riley and McMahon trying to come away with a loose puck. It comes back to the point with a long shot that deflected wide of the goal. Now a bouncing disc in front of the net. Leafs trying to play it out, and they do. Getting it into the center ice area. Going back to retrieve it is Mike Riley. Up on the left wing boards. McMahon with a long shoot in. 56 seconds away from the midpoint of the hockey game. The Leafs 3, Carolina 1. Nyes working the puck on the far boards. Got some help from Domi, but the puck came out over the line. Brought quickly back in by Benoit. Driving wide, around back of the goal he goes. Works it back to the half board. Cycles it back from Max. Domi coming out of the corner. Backhanding it back of the net. Nyes didn't read it quickly enough to get to it. And it is cleared out and down the ice now by Carolina. And the Leafs are going to get an icing call against the Hurricanes to be brought back into Carolina territory.
I think if you're Freddie Anderson now in the Carolina Hurricanes, you might be feeling like from a defensive side you're in overtime. You can't give up the fourth one. Carolina's been pushing. Leafs have been hanging on here in the second period.
Draw to the right of Anderson, and one cleanly by Toronto. McCabe works into the corner, back into the slot area. Quick shot taken by Nyes, and Anderson was able to take that on the chest and not allow a rebound. 12th shot on goal for the Maple Leafs. 19 for Carolina. But the Leafs with a 3-1 lead as McMahon, Lawton, and Nyes have scored the goals for the Maple Leafs.
Carolina, this is game 4 of a 7-game homestand. I think extended homestands worry coaches more than extended road trips. You know, sometimes get that dopiness to being at home for long stretches. We certainly saw that with the Leafs in October, November.
Played out at center ice. Matthews flings it to the line to Domi. Played into the corner, but knocked out of midair there by the Carolina defense. But the Leafs are able to keep it in momentarily. It comes back at center ice, brought out by the Hurricanes, and played down into the Toronto end. Back after it, Stetcher. Got it around the boards. It came out in front of the net. Nicely played away there by Nyes, who was dragged down and no call. Puck around back of the net. The Leafs have not had a power play in this game. Up against the board, Stetcher bottles it up, and the Leafs get the puck free and don't get it out. Here's a chance now for Carolina. Oh, and a great stick there by Matthew Nyes to intercept, and one defender back. 3 Leafs in the rush. Domi in front of the net. They score! Matthews set up by Max perfectly. Leafs 4, Carolina 1.
Well, you called it, the play by Matthew Nyes to get his stick on the ice flat to be able to intercept a pass in the Leaf zone and then turn it back the other way. Nyes threw it to Matthews, and then Matthews a give and go with Max Domi in a 2-on-1, and Domi makes the perfect pass. Past the defenseman's stick onto the tape of Matthews, left-handed shot on the right wing side, and he just snaps it past Freddie Anderson before the Carolina goaltender could get over.
11th goal of the season for the captain. And the Maple Leafs have a 4-1 lead midway through the contest in North Carolina. Played around back of the net by Tavares. Nylander couldn't keep it in. Pinching was Morgan Riley. Puck is out at center ice, but it's a Lone Ranger rush here by Aho. Aho then gets it on the wing, and a wrist shot on the backhand by Svechnikov is easily stopped by Joseph Woll to stop play and bring a face-off in the Toronto zone. Great feed from Domi and a quick one-timer by Matthews to push the lead to 4-1 as the Leafs try to enjoy the remainder of this road trip and really turn a corner in their season. You're listening to Molson Leaf Hockey on Sportsnet 590 The Fan and the Maple Leafs Radio Network.
Hey, Metallica family. This is James.
It's Lars. This is Kirk.
It's Robert.
It really means a lot to have our own channel here on Sirius XM.
For us to be able to have a platform to share the music that we love, the music that we create, the music that inspires us.
The most Metallica anywhere. Maximum Metallica.
Do you want heaven?
Channel 42 and the Sirius XM app. On right now.
NHL Morning Skate.
Eric Tulsky's the general manager in Carolina.
Are you still a team that looks to go big game hunting via trades?
It's very easy as a manager when you have a good team to get conservative. Just let it play out and hope for the best. And that's not our philosophy here. We don't want to just sit back and call it good enough. We want to keep looking for ways to make the team better.
NHL Morning Skate with Scott Laughlin and Gord Stellick. Weekdays 7 a.m. Eastern on NHL Network Radio, Sirius XM 91, and the Sirius XM app. Under review.
And stop making excuses for bad goaltending. And is it bad? Is it horrendous? If you don't win because you don't make a save or two, yeah. The nature of it is the goaltender is responsible for 90% of the action. He's got to stop the puck. Why do we keep making apologies for goaltending? Stop it.
Under review with Mick Kern, 11 a.m. Eastern on NHL Network Radio, Sirius XM 91, and the Sirius XM app.
MLS, NWSL, the USL, and more covering the beautiful game here at home. American soccer lives on Sirius XM FC 157
and the Leafs Radio Network.
The Leafs have opened up their biggest lead in the game, 4-1. Cleared down into Carolina territory. Robertson is there first, trying to play it into the slot, but it's intercepted. And out come the Hurricanes with a pass in on the right side, dropping it back, but out of the reach of the first player, and it was intercepted, and now the Leafs are able to get it out at center ice. Lawton sending it the rest of the way into the zone. Mike Riley goes back, played around back of the net. Joel Nystrom trying to get it out, but can't. Domi down the right wing boards, tried to find Matthews, but was picked off. Matthews steals the puck back to Domi back of the net. Max trying to work the near boards, got it back to the point. Benoit trying to send it to the net, had to go off a leg. And Carolina under control, has it back of the net with 8 minutes to play in the second period. The Leafs 4 and the Hurricanes 1. Shot down into the Toronto end. Cleared by Wall to a defenseman. And it'll be played up at center off a stick. But Carolina shoots it right back in again. And Wall will try it again. Same play to the far side. And Myers can't get to it. And then when it is sent to the net, it is Wall who is able to make a glove save and stop play. Yes, Mr. Ralph. You're pointing at me for a reason.
Yeah, because you read a quote a little earlier about players being benched and Bobby Knight's quote about how that can motivate you to be better. Max Domi was benched for the Washington game on Friday.
Yep.
Now comes back into the lineup, plays with Matthew Nyes and Austin Matthews. Hasn't scored, but now with his 2 assists tonight, 5 assists in the 3 games since being benched. So that's
what you're
proof.
saying. Bobby Knight knew what he was talking about?
Well, I think there's proof.
Yeah. Played along the boards in the Toronto zone. Dug out there by the Leafs. And Joshua gets the puck to center ice. McMahon unable to get around Gostisbehere, who has it under control in the Carolina zone. Gostisbehere gets it again, and now into the Toronto end it comes. Wall quickly along for Morgan Riley, and Riley's pass is cut off, and a long shot was blocked, and now nicely fed out at center ice by Joshua, but Roy couldn't handle the puck cleanly enough. Now Joshua trying to poke it in over the line. Roy adds some support, but the Hurricanes are able to come away with it, and they'll get it back in on the left wing. Long wrap around attempt. Oh, if he was able to wrap it right around that near post, it's in. But it went across in the middle of the crease.
Almost clattered in between the legs of Wall and out the other way.
But Wall was able to get a piece of it just enough to keep it out. And against the boards, played to center ice. And here's Cowan getting it down into the zone. He's out there with Tavares again and Nylander. And now here are the Hurricanes getting it up on the wing. And McCabe pokes it deeper into the zone. Off a stick to Tavares. Tavares works down the right wing. He's got Nylander loose. Nylander takes the pass, but it's up against the boards. Round back of the net. Cowan and Tavares are there to try to add support. And the puck comes into the slot area. And it is the Hurricanes who are able to get it out at center ice. Tripping and falling there. And the Leafs have to come back into their own end just to keep the puck, but it's grabbed off now by the Hurricanes. Pass intercepted, and Nylander just very coolly plays it enough to get it into Carolina territory to allow a change of players. Hurricanes get it back in over the line. A pass into the right wing circle. Blake unable to get a shot away, gets it back to the point. Looking to the near side, and a wrist shot coming. Nystrom was looking for the puck. It comes back to him on the right wing. Now down along the boards for Aho. Back to Nystrom. Nystrom back into the left wing corner. Cycling well here, done by Carolina. They work it back and then drop it off again at the blue line to Ehlers. Ehlers to the far side. Lots of zone possession, but really not getting any kind of attack at the net yet. Out of the near side, grabbed off by Mike Riley. Down into the corner. Long shift here for the Maple Leafs. It comes free. Cleared by Tavares, but not out. Along the boards now, it comes back on the far half wall. Cross ice pass to the near wing. Leafs standing around a lot in their own end here. Dog tired. Carolina loses the puck. Leafs don't get it out. Into the slot area for Riley, a shot. Good play made there by Stetcher. He's taken down on the play. Still with it, Carolina. Working into the slot area. Still with it, looking for a wrist shot from Blake. None coming. Leafs get to it and pound it off the wall. It's about all they could do. It'll be an icing.
Boy, and these shifts now, from a Leaf standpoint, are over 2 minutes. Cowan 2:20, Tavares 2:19. Oh. Only Nick Robertson was able to get on for Willie Nylander, but he's at 1:21 now.
Jake McCabe, 3 minutes and 14 seconds. So they'll take as much time as they can. And then Wall getting into a little episode with Svechnikov in front of the net. Wall wouldn't bite. Leafs win the faceoff. Stetcher trying to play it up on the wing, but it's cut off again. Here is Gostisbehere working on the blue line. Got it back into the corner. Here the Hurricanes cycling the puck again with Martinook. Back to the point. Goss just spared to Martinook. Martinook's pass goes off a stick, and it's going to come to center, and much needed change coming for the Maple Leafs. 3:54 to play in the period. 4-1 the score. The Leafs with the lead. Jake McCabe, though, is still out there, and he's been out there for a while.
So is Stetcher, yeah.
Played out into the center ice area, and now those players are going to get there to get a change. Bobby McMahon buys that by hustling down onto the puck. Lorenz sending it around to the far side, and it'll be played out at center ice. Benoit couldn't get to it, but now Lorenz does. He can't get by one Carolina player. It comes to center, and now three of them are across the blue line. Shot from an angle, big pad save, and a huge rebound goes to Lorenz, who was interfered with after shooting the puck into the corner, but no call. Riley plays it deep into the Toronto end. Benoit, back of the net. Myers punching it around the wall, but it won't clear. Kept alive by the Carolina Hurricanes, but the Leafs get it out, and then Lawton, trying to stay on side to allow the rush to continue, had to come back, and it is shot in this time by Benoit. Down the boards is Domi to Matthews. Matthews trying to get it back to his winger, but it comes around on the far wing, and it'll be brought to center and sent down into the Toronto end. Riley going back. Could have been an icing call there, but there wasn't one made, and Morgan Riley starts out of his own end. Pass off a stick on goal, stopped by Anderson. He tries to clear out at center to catch the Leafs. He gets him in on the left wing. Good poke check made there by Oliver Ekman-Larsson to break up the rush. Leafs don't get it out, though. Here's the Hurricanes in with a shot. Blockered away by Wall. Puck cleared to the near wing. Trying to keep it alive. Here's Carolina. Left wing side, Gostisbehere. Got it into the corner on the far side for Seth Jarvis. Jarvis and Riley battle, and puck goes free, and Austin Matthews is going to try and flip it ahead, but it's going to turn into an icing. He was hoping to catch Bobby McMahon an opportunity to get by the Carolina defenseman, but McMahon lost sight of the puck, didn't know where it was.
He really didn't have a direction to go after it, did he? By the way, the goal by Austin Matthews, and now 5 career games against Freddie Anderson. That is 6 goals for Matthews.
Matthew Nyes has been given an additional assist on the Matthews goal.
Well, I guess so. He made that great defensive play.
A little late on the sheet. Getting there. Leafs in their own zone. Nyes playing it back of the goal for Morgan Riley. Riley plays it through center, but gobbled up again by Carolina. Brought in over the line by Nystrom. Played back of the net. Wall gets it to Morgan Riley. He's just going to flip it out at center ice. Bouncing disc that doesn't get to the line, and quickly turned back the other way by Blake. And on the right side, a pass into the slot area. Blake can't shoot it, and the Maple Leafs have it on the boards and will play it out at center. Minute 10 to go in the period. Leafs just happy to get through the remaining time here without incident and carry a 3-goal lead to the third period. Hurricanes in their own zone. Play it high to the Leaf blue line. Grabbed off there by Benoit. Played to his defense partner on the far side, and a delayed offside is going to be whistled down by one of the linesmen, and so the puck will come out into center ice territory when we return. The Leafs 4, the Carolina Hurricanes 1. You're listening to Molson Leaf Hockey on Sportsnet 590 The Fan and the Maple Leafs Radio Network.
Hockey. It's taken over our basements, our driveways, and our backyards. And at Rona, we wouldn't change a thing. That's why we make sure your home can take any hits hockey throws its way. So hockey can keep taking over your laundry rooms, your living rooms, your garages, your kitchens. Make sure your home is ready for hockey season with Rona. Build it right, build it Rona.
The scrape of blades, the clash of sticks. Hockey's more than a game. It's unrelenting, never give up moments that make you feel alive. And so you commit to the weekly ups and downs, the long road to the playoffs. You wear your heart on your sleeve and your jersey with pride. And when you're there for your team, the NHL shop is there for you. Check out the largest selection of official NHL gear at nhlshop.ca. A Fanatics experience.
Bet365 partner of the NHL. Must be 19 or older. Ontario only. Please play responsibly. If you or someone you know has concerns about gambling, visit connexontario.ca. TNCs apply.
You're listening to Toronto Maple Leafs hockey.
What a brilliant move by Willie Nylander, and we have a tie game.
On Sportsnet 590 The Fan and the Leafs Radio Network.
The Leafs 4 and the Carolina Hurricanes 1.
Some things I think Craig Berube would like to clean up here in the second period, but I think the Leafs have done a pretty good job of getting in lanes, and we saw that in the first period, even on the penalty kill. But the Leafs really have to look at this final minute of the second period like the final minute of a game protecting a lead. Just don't give up anything.
Played down into the Carolina zone. Good start. Now here's Bobby McMahon with a sharp angle shot stopped by Anderson on the short side. 33 seconds left in the period. Leafs are going to have it go off a stick to center. Ottawa couldn't come up with it. Now the Hurricanes pump it into the corner back of the net. Jake McCabe couldn't get to it. The Leafs get it ahead. Bobby McMahon couldn't get it out, but his winger friend does, and that is Dakota Joshua getting it to center. Played back in over the line. McCabe sidesteps one, got it up on the wing, and out at center it comes to Joshua with 7 seconds left. On to McCabe. He's got a man going to the front of the net. Oh, he didn't see him. It was Stetcher, who had jumped into the rush and read the clock rather well and probably got some assistance, but I don't think the bench helped out here. At least it didn't seem to, because all he had to do was just send it to the slot, and Stetcher was in alone.
Yeah, he did kind of spin off the boards and throw it out. I think it was more of a Hail Mary. I don't think he really knew the positioning of Stetcher jumping in, but the Leafs really unlikely in that period when you look at the zone time between those two clubs as to which team was going to score 2 goals. But the Leafs, and by the way, Carolina had only 18 goals against in the second period this year, which was the lowest total of any team in the NHL. And the Leafs had, I mean, so far this season, the second period's been a disaster for them. So, again, the hockey gods gave them some breaks in the first period and maybe a couple more in the second.
Second period was brought to you by Desjardins Insurance. Get insurance that's really big on care. We'll step aside for Ailish Forfar and Justin Cuthbert. The Leafs with a 4-1 lead over the Hurricanes in Carolina. And you're listening to Molson Leaf Hockey on Sportsnet 590 The Fan and the Maple Leafs Radio Network.
Let's focus on what matters.
The push for the fantasy football playoffs is on.
Doesn't matter where we are right now. We got to make the postseason, and ultimately we got to win the league. If you don't make the playoffs, what's this all for?
The experts of Sirius XM Fantasy Sports Radio are here to lead you to fantasy football glory.
His floor is higher. I'll take the higher floor as opposed to the higher ceiling.
Fantasy Sports Radio, Channel 87 in the car, and on the Sirius XM app, where fantasy football championships are won.
Hockey 24/7 on Sirius XM NHL Network Radio.
Connor Bedard. Nobody said last year was bad, but what we're seeing now, he's the dog on the bone. It was almost as if he had some cement in his skates last year, and he wasn't F1 ever. He's different. This has been different. He wasn't bad last year. He was good. Now he's great right now.
Sirius XM NHL Network Radio. Sirius XM 91. And on your schedule with the Sirius XM app. NHL Morning Skate.
Eric Tulsky's the general manager in Carolina.
Are you still a team that looks to go big game hunting via trades?
It's very easy as a manager when you have a good team to get conservative. Just let it play out and hope for the best. And that's not our philosophy here. We don't want to just sit back and call it good enough. We want to keep looking for ways to make the team better.
NHL Morning Skate with Scott Laughlin and Gord Stellick. Weekdays 7 a.m. Eastern on NHL Network Radio, Sirius XM 91, and the Sirius XM app. Under review.
And stop making excuses for bad goaltending. And is it bad? Is it horrendous? If you don't win because you don't make a save or two, yeah. The nature of it is the goaltender is responsible for 90% of the action. He's got to stop the puck. Why do we keep making apologies for goaltending? Stop it.
Under review with Mick Kern. 11 a.m. Eastern on NHL Network Radio, Sirius XM 91, and the Sirius XM app.
The NHL is on Sirius XM.
3-on-1. Connor McDavid, right circle, dishes, gets it back and scores.
With your favorite team's calls all season long.
It's a power play goal for Matthew Tkachuk.
The rivalries, the big goals, the moments you wait for. Plus, insiders to bring you closer to the decisions that shape the league.
Commissioner of the NHL, Mr. Gary Bettman.
NHL Network Radio, where the hockey talk never stops. On Sirius XM 91 in the car and the Sirius XM app.
Hey, Jim Rome here. What's cracking?
Hi.
Hope you're enjoying the game. And when you're not taking in a game, find us on Sirius Channel 161, XM Channel 206. In fact, we'll be there every weekday afternoon, 3 p.m. to 6 p.m. Eastern Time. If you've got something you want to break down from this game, you know where to find us. Just make sure you have it taken. Don't suck.
Step your game up.
That has never changed. In fact, the show has never changed. We're just back home. And it's great to be there. Sirius 161, XM 206. See you there.
Experience the pinnacle of club soccer in the UEFA Champions League on Sirius XM FC. This is the place where legends are born.
Merseyside magic from Mo Salah.
Dynasties are built.
Real Madrid do what they do best.
And history is made.
It is a night to remember for Paris Saint-Germain.
Hear the top Champions League matches all season long on Sirius XM FC 157 and the Sirius XM app.
Join me, Gord Stellick, and Scott Laughlin as we recap the night that was on NHL Morning Skate, weekday mornings at 7 a.m. Eastern on NHL Network Radio, Sirius XM 91.
The Leafs Radio Network.
Here's a chance now for Carolina. Oh, and a great stick there by Matthew Nyes to intercept, and one defender back. 3 Leafs in the rush. Domi in front of the net. They score! Matthews! Set up by Max perfectly. Leafs 4, Carolina 1.
Well, you called it, the play by Matthew Nyes to get his stick on the ice flat to be able to intercept a pass in the Leaf zone and then turn it back the other way.
Welcome back to Molson Leafs Hockey on Sportsnet 590, the fan of the Maple Leafs Radio Network. Ailish Forfar and Justin Cuthbert, a 4-1 lead for the Toronto Maple Leafs after 40 minutes.
Yeah, it was a good period. It wasn't dominant by any stretch of the imagination for the Toronto Maple Leafs. They were, at times, hemmed in their own zone. Jake McCabe had a near 3-minute shift, just basically defending in his own zone. But the Maple Leafs were opportunistic, took advantage of 2 great opportunities. Matthew Nyes on a breakaway, and then as you heard there, Max Domi setting up Austin Matthews on a 2-on-1. Just able to wait long enough, hold in there long enough to create some opportunities and capitalize. Now it's 4-1. That was a good period for the Toronto Maple Leafs.
And our second intermission is brought to you by Popeyes. Score a Popeyes chicken sandwich for only $6 in classic or spicy. Make it your new game day tradition. Get your $6 chicken sandwich at Popeyes near you. Yes, that Matthew Nyes goal, I can't say it's the goal of the season, but it's like the effort of the season, I think. Watching him muscle past the Carolina Hurricanes defenseman and get up off his knees, continue flying by, and then put it in the back of the net. Like, that is a thick king getting to work and making it happen.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if I'm in the minority here, but I've been a little disappointed by Matthew Nyes' season.
Yeah, we felt the same way.
Yeah, I mean, the numbers are okay. That's his 7th goal of the year. He's got, I think, double-digit assists in each of the 2 first months of the season, October and November in full. So the production is there, but you signed a big deal, and I know everyone lauded him for not necessarily squeezing the Maple Leafs for every last dollar, but he's making a lot of money now, and you expect some production. And you know, it's been uneven for Matthews. It's been uneven, I think, for Matthew Nyes from an injury standpoint and from a consistency standpoint, production-wise. But that's what you kind of expect from both of these guys, right? Matthew Nyes with a power forward goal, and then Austin Matthews shooting one in the back of the net when given an opportunity from a playmaking winger, this time in Max Domi. So obviously it's important for these guys to be productive, but them scoring characteristic goals, trait goals, that's good too.
Yeah, and I was impressed with Domi's sauce. A lot of questions of where Domi was going to fit in this lineup for the last couple weeks / months / I guess a year. Like, where is he? Does he have to be a top 6 guy? Does he fit somewhere else in the bottom 6? Is he not really a centerman? But that was exactly what you want to see from Max Domi. Finesse, great playmaking ability to the best player on the team, and Austin Matthews puts it in the back of net. So I don't know if Max Domi has staying power on that top line, but when he does stuff like that, that's exactly what he needs to do to at least give himself another couple games, another week or so. Like, I don't know why you would not feel like there's a fit there. I guess it just hadn't been sticking for Max Domi.
The way I'm going to say this is going to sound like sort of rude, but this is the most palatable position for Max Domi. He has chemistry with Austin Matthews. They need someone who can pass the puck to replace Mitch Marner, and he is an offensively focused player. He's not going to be someone you lean on for big minutes in a third line center position or to try and create some offense out of a fourth line that's kind of a hybrid and doesn't really have a true identity. He's an offensive player, and he's had some chemistry with Austin Matthews. Has been really, really reticent to do this. Clearly, every coach, it seems, has been reticent to do this, but it works. It's the best spot for him, and I don't know why there's such reluctance to do it.
Also, Leafs being outshot 22-11, but 4 goals for the Leafs on 11 shots is kind of what you didn't like about Freddie Anderson, I guess. But I mean, in a normal game, when you only have 11 shots after 2 periods, I think we'd be pretty disappointed. But they're winning.
I'm seeing 15 now.
Oh, well, up on the video board that we had a view of from the inside of the arena, it had 11. It does look like they've updated to 15. So even though, 15 shots now.
It's still not enough.
That's not enough shots. But
averaging 7.5 shots a period versus Carolina is not enough.
They're going in, so I guess that's fine. But if they end up in a game where this goaltender is stopping more than like a shot every 5 minutes, then we'd be disappointed in 15 shots.
This says a lot about Carolina. Like, this is kind of what the situation they've continued to put themselves in. I guess you can say they're dominating this game, although I think the second period was better for Toronto. But it's 2 shot attempts for Carolina for every one of Toronto. That's what they do. And yet, time and time again, they don't have a goaltender who can be as good as the one on the opposite side. And Joseph Woll has been better than Freddie Anderson in this game, very clearly.
Yes. Let's take a quick break. We'll get to the out-of-town scoreboard, and then we'll get you set for the third period. Leafs holding on to a 4-1 lead after 40 minutes. You're listening to Molson Leafs Hockey on Sportsnet 590 The Fan and the Maple Leafs Radio Network.
Wherever Canadians raise a glass, you'll find Molson. There's a good reason for that. When you've been in Canada for over 230 years, you get around in the cups and fridges of Canadians, generation after generation. Molson has a beer for everyone. So raise a glass or cup or whatever you pour your Molson in, because it doesn't matter what it's in. It matters where it's from. Canadian, export, ultra, excel, Molson. Everyone in. Must be legal drinking age.
The legendary Yeti, born to handle ice, snow, and the harshest conditions imaginable.
Hey, that's like a Subaru with all-wheel drive.
The mighty Yeti uses its impressive strength to navigate any terrain.
Like the X mode in a Subaru.
No one knows exactly what they do out there.
Usually snowboarding, sometimes skating if I find a pair that fits. Legendary winters await, so hurry into your local Subaru dealer for lease and finance rates as low as 1.49%. Conditions apply. See dealer for details. Subaru, uncommon comes standard.
Okay. First question. When does Desjardins Insurance suggest you switch to winter tires?
Below 7 degrees. Easy.
Nice. Next, what's a smart way to save money on your home insurance?
Switch to Desjardins Insurance and you could save up to $900 when you bundle home and auto. Easy.
Get insurance that's really big on care. Desjardins Insurance. Here for your home, auto, life, and business needs. Certain conditions apply.
Heard of Uline? You know, the have-it-all in-stock, ready-to-deliver shipping and industrial supply specialists. The company that does things for you that are unheard of, like keeping 41,000 items in stock in our own warehouses. With customer service reps on the line to get you what you need, when you need it, 24/7, 365, every time. Maybe you heard it here first. Want to hear more? Visit uline.ca. ULINE, your shipping and industrial supply specialists.
The fall get-together is here at Canadian Blood Services, which means it's the perfect time to grab your crew, hit up a donor center, and experience what you get when you give together. It's not just about donating blood and plasma. It's about showing up and feeling like we actually did something.
Jesse, you're up.
Awesome. Be right there. Book an appointment today at blood.ca and experience what you get when you give. Canadian Blood Services. Who's saving who?
With Pluto TV, it's no risk, big reward. Thousands of hours of free TV. Movies like The Hunger Games, Scary Movie, and Now You See Me. Shows like Survivor, NCIS, and SpongeBob SquarePants. Plus, news, sports, and so much more. Risk-free, hassle-free, totally free. No catch, no hidden fees. It's TV the way it should be. Free. Pluto TV. Stream now. Pay never.
You're listening to Toronto Maple Leafs hockey.
They score! Rocket McMahon again!
On Sportsnet 590 The Fan and the Leafs Radio Network.
Welcome back to Most Leafs Hockey on Sportsnet 590, The Fan and the Maple Leafs Radio Network. Ailish for Justin Cuthbert. 4-1 lead for the Maple Leafs after 40 minutes. The out-of-town scoreboard is presented by Bet365. Download the app and find out why it's never ordinary at Bet365.
Okay, the Bruins have a 5-1 lead over the St. Louis Blues in a rematch of a Stanley Cup final from nearly 7 years ago.
Wow.
Morgan Geekie continues to score in that one. The Rangers have a 3-1 lead over the Ottawa Senators. Same score. Penguins leading the Lightning. End of 2 in Tampa Bay. Panthers still clinging to a 1-goal lead, 1-0 over the Nashville Predators. That's through 40 minutes. The Avalanche have scored twice, but have given up 5 to the New York Islanders. So their run of not losing in regulation is certainly in jeopardy. It is 3-3 Red Wings and Blue Jackets with about 8 minutes to go in the second period. Still to come tonight, Wild and Flames from Calgary, Kraken and Oilers from Edmonton, and the Blackhawks and Kings from Los Angeles.
All right, we talked about how important tonight's game was and the ability to put a big stamp on a road trip that's been quite successful against the best team in the Eastern Conference, a team that has been sitting at home waiting for you, and you're on the tail end of your road trip. I think that this period will say a lot about the Maple Leafs. They can hold on to this 4-1 lead and come home pretty happy to face the Habs on Saturday night.
They're not in a position to be like, oh, let's work on our prevent defense. Like, they got to have a good period here but this is a good test because Carolina's going to come and they're going to be trying to get something out of this game. They're not going to be rolling over. So a good test, good opportunity to show that you can protect a lead in a tough environment.
All right, Joe Bowen and Jim Ralph will have the call of the third period next. It's 4-1 Leafs after 40 minutes. You're listening to Molson Leafs Hockey on Sportsnet 590, The Fan, and the Maple Leafs Radio Network.
I'm Nancy Grace, and I want you to join us at Crime Stories every single day.
Join Nancy Grace on Sirius XM Triumph.
We learn how to protect ourselves, to protect others, and most importantly, protect our children.
Crime Stories with Nancy Grace. Weekdays at 6 p.m. East.
We bring victims to tell their stories.
Crime Stories with Nancy Grace on Sirius XM Triumph 123. Or listen anytime on the Sirius XM app.
The NHL is on Sirius XM.
3-on-1. Connor McDavid, right circle, dishes, gets it back and scores.
With your favorite team's calls all season long.
It's a power play goal for Matthew Tkachuk.
The rivalries, the big goals, the moments you wait for. Plus, insiders to bring you closer to the decisions that shape the league.
Commissioner of the NHL, Mr. Gary Bettman.
NHL Network Radio, where the hockey talk never stops. On Sirius XM 91 in the car and the Sirius XM app.
Hey, Jim Rome here. What's cracking?
Hi.
Hope you're enjoying the game. And when you're not taking in a game, find us on Sirius Channel 161, XM Channel 206. In fact, we'll be there every weekday afternoon, 3 p.m. to 6 p.m. Eastern Time. If you've got something you want to break down from this game, you know where to find us. Just make sure you have it taken. Don't suck.
Step your game up.
That has never changed. In fact, the show has never changed. We're just back home. And it's great to be there. Sirius 161, XM 206. See you there.
Experience the pinnacle of club soccer in the UEFA Champions League on Sirius XM FC. This is the place where legends are born.
Merseyside magic from Mo Salah.
Dynasties are built.
Real Madrid do what they do best.
And history is made.
It is a night to remember for Paris Saint-Germain.
Hear the top Champions League matches all season long on Sirius XM FC 157 and the Sirius XM app. The biggest names in the game.
Trying to get behind Ristolainen. Walks in. Put it between his legs. Shoots it. Score!
NHL play-by-play on Sirius XM.
90 The Fan and the Leafs Radio Network.
The Leafs lead by a score of 4-1, but I don't know what it is, but whenever things seem to be going good, you just wait for the bad news. And the bad news is Joseph Woll will not finish the game. He made a split thing where both legs kind of went out on a scramble at one point. I don't know if that's the one that did it, but Dennis Hildeby will play the third period.
Yeah, they are saying it's lower body, so hopefully the Leafs buckle down defensively because they spend way too much time in the first two periods in their own end.
Played into the zone. Hildeby plays it around the wall. It'll be grabbed off by Matthews. He gets it to the defense, and it'll be lifted high by Oliver Ekman-Larsson to center. Domi couldn't get it. Nyes chipping it deeper into Carolina territory. Now up on the right side it goes. Trying to work in off the wing, Walker. A shot deflects wide of the goal. Tavares had it roll off his stick. Cycled back of the net for Carrier. He loses it to Tavares, and Tavares gets it on the wing. And the Leafs get it out to Max Domi, who was going to regroup the puck to allow a change of players. Tavares remains out there. His wingers have joined him now. McCabe gives to Nylander. Nylander in on the right side, a little too far for Cowan to reach. Fed around the boards by Nikishin and now played to the line, but not out. Leafs keep it in. Cowan centers in front. Nylander got a chance, and there's going to be a penalty here to Carolina.
Easton Cowan got into the puck in the corner, and a nice little backhand pass out to Willie Nylander, who had a lane to the net, but got latched onto it. I think it's Svechnikov is going to go for Carolina.
37, 2 minutes, okay.
You are correct. Hooking call. First power play opportunity for the Maple Leafs.
This is about an 8-second hook. He just water skied behind Nylander, actually all the way from the far boards to the front of the net. And if ever you wanted your power play to cash in, a little breathing room for Dennis Hill to be at the other end, it'd be now.
We got a defenseman.
Yes, Ekman-Larsson. Yeah.
Thank you. Played out and down the ice by Carolina's penalty kill, and Oliver Ekman-Larsson goes back to retrieve it. He's going to start out, dropping it back. Nylander comes out of the Toronto zone, hits the red line, dishes off to Matthews, who tried to find Tavares, and that was broken up and fed back into the Toronto zone. Oliver Ekman-Larsson tries again. Up the left wing boards, drops for Nylander. Nylander drops and turns for Matthews. Back to Willie. Nylander in across the line. Off onto the left wing side. Tavares, or at least Cowan, got it a little deeper into the corner. And Tavares arrives on the scene to try and dig it free, and he does out in front. All alone is Ekman-Larsson, a shot. He got another crack at it. Oh, and he could have shot it again. He had the goaltender down, but elected to try and find a pass in front of the net. Now here's the Hurricanes breaking 2-on-1, and a shot stopped by Hildeby on the short side. And Nylander starts back the other way. Matthews takes his pass. He's in across the line, left wing side. Tried to stick handle around the defense, but couldn't do it. Cleared off the boards. Centering pass. Now Nyes doesn't shoot it, trying to look for a backdoor play, and it'll be cleared by Carolina down the ice.
Boy, twice the Leafs try to get a little too fancy. Ekman-Larsson, it looked like he still had the empty net on a second opportunity, but tried to pass it off.
Brought back now by the second unit. Domi getting it into the corner. Sharp angle shot goes wide. Roy controls on the near half boards. Sends it along the boards. Knocked down on the play. Back on his skates. Gave the puck away. And it is going to be brought out again by Carolina. Brought in over the line by Nikishin. Nikishin into the slot. And that stop made by Hildeby.
Boy, that's a big save.
Chances on the penalty kill by Carolina, who have scored 3 shorthanded goals this season. And they get another rush here with the penalty expired as the Leafs now send it down into Carolina territory. Brought out by Mike Riley. He gets it ahead at center and onto the left wing side and across into the Toronto zone. Fed into the corner by Jackson Blake. Around the boards to the near side. Leafs don't get to it, but Bobby McMahon is able to scrum it enough, but the puck comes free and a shot high over top of the Leaf goal. Ehlers trying to come up with a loose puck, but the Leafs have it on the far half boards. An outlet now, and the pass comes through center ice, and it'll be shot by Lawton in on goal, knocked away by Frederik Andersen. Carolina's Gostisbehere back at center. Played up on the right wing and launched high into the corner. Back after it, Benoit. Played around the boards near side. Nyes double teamed in there. Got the puck free for Benoit. On to Oliver Ekman-Larsson. Ahead to Domi. And Domi has banked the puck out and down the ice. But it's rolling on edge. Icing waved off because of the hustle from Nyes. And it goes free to Matthews. Looking in front of the net. Domi, a late arrival. But the puck was deflected away from him. Eric Robinson gets it back at center. Leafs get it up on the wing. Domi across the line. Matthews, little stutter step in on goal. And he got a backhand away, but the right pad of Andersen went down. Now Nylander got a steal, and he got a shot that deflected wide. Leafs after it in the corner with Nylander. Spun around off the puck, and Carolina losing it in the corner, and Cowan has a loose puck. Back of the net for Willie. Nylander in the far corner. Back to Cowan. Cowan centers. And then Tavares couldn't get his stick on it. And then Nylander couldn't keep it in at the blue line. Nylander unable to come up with a drop pass that was left for him. And Taylor Hall will head to the bench as both teams are getting a change in.
A couple of good shifts by the Leafs. Keep it down the Carolina end.
Nikishin gets it ahead for Aho. In across the line, broken up by the Leafs at the defense. McCabe got it up on the wing. Tavares is out. Tavares along with McMahon going wide. Tavares in around back of the net. Or excuse me, not Tavares. That's Dakota Joshua. Joshua along the boards, taken down on the play. Got back up, gives his counterpart a pretty good cuffing in the schnoz there as he was taken down. Now Carolina back into the offensive zone. Back to the point and a slap shot coming. And Hildeby is out to cover that up and hold for a faceoff. Dennis Hildeby 1-2-1 this season, but that save percentage has improved dramatically over the last while. 9-1-4 and a 3.07 goals against average for Hildeby.
Rod Brindamore giving it to the linesman. I think that might have been for that waved off icing. Matthew Nyes negated by hustling down into the Carolina zone, but I don't believe Rod Brindamore figures he'd won the race.
Draw won by Carolina. Shot blockered away by Hildeby. Collision in front of the net with Lawton and Stahl, both players to the ice. And the Leafs get it out at center and down into Carolina territory. Robertson into the forecheck. And it comes up on the wing, and it'll be carried by Martinuk to get to center, but Scott Lawton has broken the rush up. Leafs have it under control in their own zone. Oliver Ekman-Larsson got it ahead, and it's deflected down into Carolina territory. Anderson leaves it, played around the boards and out at center, shot down into the Toronto end. 13:27 to go here in the third period. The Leafs 4, and the Hurricanes 1 as Matthews manages to get it out, only to have it shot right back in again. Round on the far side, Nyes lifts a stick and is able to pry it free and get it out at center. Leafs unable to press the attack. Stetcher thought better of it and wisely did not try to get up on the rush. Puck is down in the Toronto zone, centering pass in front, down in front of the goal, and underneath him is the puck as Hildeby came out swimming.
Boy, it looked like those pads opened up, didn't it? As Jackson Blake, a little stutter step, and got Hildeby to open up, but couldn't get it through the pads, and the Leafs holding on to that 4-1 lead.
You're listening to Molson Leaf Hockey on Sportsnet 590, The Fan and the Maple Leafs Radio Network.
The 2025 MLS Cup Final is bigger than ever, and it's on Sirius XM FC.
He has done it again!
Lionel Messi and Inter Miami.
Messi with a left-footed chip, it's a brace!
Versus Thomas Muller and the Vancouver Whitecaps.
Thomas Muller! Oh, what a finish!
Who will claim their first MLS title? Find out Saturday at 2:30 Eastern on Sirius XM FC 157 and streaming on the Sirius XM app.
Hockey 24/7 on Sirius XM NHL Network Radio. Connor Bedard. Nobody said last year was bad, but what we're seeing now, he's the dog on the bone. It was almost as if he had some cement in his skates last year, and he wasn't F1 ever. He's different. This has been different. He wasn't bad last year. He was good. Now he's great right now.
SiriusXM NHL Network Radio, SiriusXM 91, and on your schedule with the SiriusXM app. Experience the pinnacle of club soccer in the UEFA Champions League on SiriusXM FC. This is the place where legends are born.
Merseyside magic from Mo Salah.
Dynasties are built.
Real Madrid do what they do best.
And history is made.
It is a night to remember for Paris Saint-Germain.
Hear the top Champions League matches all season long on SiriusXM FC 157 and the SiriusXM app. The biggest names in the game.
Trying to get behind Ristolainen, walks in, put it between his legs, shoots and scores!
NHL play-by-play on SiriusXM.
The Leafs Radio Network.
Joseph Woll flexing the left leg after a butterfly attempt in the second period, did not return for the third. Dennis Hildeby's been excellent so far.
Yeah, and the good thing is Hildeby coming off a win in his last start in Pittsburgh on Saturday night. It started this, hopefully, streak that'll continue here in Carolina.
Here's the Hurricanes in with Hall on the left wing, and a long shot is easily caught by the Hildebeest.
Somebody did ask me not long ago if after Hildeby's win against Pittsburgh, if it would earn him more starts and not necessarily solely in back-to-back games. And I said absolutely. And I said, and one of the reasons is you got to make sure he's ready should something happen to Joseph Walls. Unfortunately, that may be the case.
Now, we still have really no information whatsoever on Stolarz and where he is in his rehab. Leafs get it down into the offensive zone. At the point, a long shot in traffic was blocked. It comes to center. And Oliver Ekman-Larsson trying to send it back in. And the Hurricanes changing, but now bringing it out with a pass on the left wing and launched high into the far corner. Benoit took a glance over his shoulder, then played it up on the wing, but it's cut off. Here's Hall with it again. Taylor Hall trying to get away, but broken up at the defense. Then a long shot was blocked by Benoit. He is able to muscle it up on the wing. Leafs get it ahead, but not out. Kept alive to the line, but a good dive made there by Dakota Joshua, and he's able to poke the puck into the center ice area. Cowan up forechecking, but the Hurricanes send it back to the line and in. Close play on the offside, and then a shot deflects high over top of the Leaf goal. Played out at center ice, trying to get by his man as Cowan. He was tackled there by Nikishin, but no call. Back come the Hurricanes and across the line. They'll play it into the corner and around the boards it goes, off a stick, up into the screen, but we've got an official.
Well,
I don't know if there's an interference call coming here. Or?
It may be delay a game. If this puck went over the glass, it might have been batted out of midair.
Toronto penalty, 95, 2 minutes delay of game.
I think that's the call. I think that's what Carolina was calling. This is a huge point in the game.
Missed the interference, but we're able to get that. So OEL has to go to the penalty box here in the third period.
And this is huge. 11:20 to go. Ekman-Larsson doesn't like it, but I think you got to call this. The puck popped into the air and knocked it with a high stick, but still knocked it over the glass.
So the faceoff will be in the Toronto zone. Third power play of the game for Carolina. Stahl will take the faceoff and lost the draw, but it goes back of the net into the far corner for Jarvis. He gets it up on the wing, but the Leafs are going to get it the rest of the way out at center ice, courtesy Scott Lawton. Now Aho over on the right wing side, and a wrist shot coming deflected wide of the net by Jake McCabe. It comes into the left wing corner. Aho gets it returned near half boards, back to the point to Gostisbehere, back to Aho, closing, wrist shot, blockered away nicely by Hildeby. The puck on the boards to Aho again. Cleared around back of the net. McCabe can't get to it. It's back to the point and kept in by Gostisbehere. Aho gives it back to him. Gostisbehere right in the middle of the rink. Off to Aho on the left wing. One-timer from the other side. That was blocked. Cleared back of the net by Stetcher. Stetcher can't get his handle on it to clear. Now a point shot is stopped, intercepted, and shot down the ice by Steven Lorenz.
Boy, a couple of big stops by Dennis Hildeby. Really like how he's gotten out to the top of the crease, Joe. Cut down the angle.
55 seconds left in the power play. Aho into the zone. Got it back into the slot area, and a shot was blocked. Leafs get a chance to clear, and right away it's Lawton sending it down the ice, and a change coming for the penalty killers. Brought out now by Nikishin. Got it up ahead, and that center is brought in by Nikolai Ehlers, left wing side. Centering pass, not handled cleanly there by Blake. Blake has difficulties with it. Leafs can't get it clear. It comes to the blue line, just kept in. Now Riley looking to play back of the net for Benoit. He couldn't send it down the ice as his left-handed shot, and unable to get to the puck. It comes back to the point. Blocked there by Matthews, and out at center ice it's going to come as the Leafs change again. 6 seconds left in the power play, and 9:22 left in the third. Ehlers across the line, stolen back, and Dakota Joshua will send it out and down the ice, but an icing call will come as the penalty expired just as he was in mid-attempt to get rid of it.
Well, we know Carolina is struggling on the power play, coming in 30th in the league with the man advantage. But you really like the way the Leafs defended on this. Right? They didn't really, the one-timer that missed short side was the best opportunity they had, but the Leafs very good at getting the sticks into lanes, chipping pucks out.
Draw one by Carolina. Shot blockered away nicely by Hildeby. Centering pass in the goal crease. Knocked away, and the Leafs are breaking it out at center. Brought on by Bobby McMahon. Hustling to the front of the net is Oliver Ekman-Larsson, and that was knocked down. And then OEL is hauled down in front of the net. No penalty. Back come the Hurricanes. Back in around back of the goal to the near side. Backhanded in then by or at least by Chatfield. It's around back of the Toronto goal. Banked back to the point. Kept alive again into the slot with a wrist shot that doesn't make it through. A lot of traffic in front of the net. And then Myers and Benoit doing a good job of blocking shots. Up against the boards and back of the goal. Myers takes his man down. Could have been a penalty there. None called. So we'll take that and put it in the bank. Gostisbehere shoots it right back in again. 8:17 left in the period. Round back of the net. Benoit is tripped in front of the net trying to get into the corner and no call. And the Leafs are going to poke it out at center and get to the red line, and Tavares launches it in over the line. Cowan trying to get a stick free, and it was knocked away. And now here are the Hurricanes bringing it right back up ice. My goodness, have they put the whistles away. Maybe we'd be just as happy if they did, I suppose.
Yes.
Onto the left wing side. Cowan got a shot away that Anderson was able to fend off. It goes around back of the net. Matthews doesn't see it, and it's up on the right wing side. And Carolina gets it out, only to have Domi intercept. Leafs back in their own zone. Stetcher to the red line. Missed on a pass to Matthews. Stankoven got it to the right wing side, and the Hurricanes send it back into the Leaf end. Played back of the net by Hildeby. Played up on the boards, but pinching in there is Nikishin to keep it in. Now the Hurricanes into the slot with Ehlers. His shot deflected wide of the Leaf goal. Puck still in the Toronto end. Toronto up by a score of 4-1. Nyes gets out at center. Tries to beat two defenders. Takes his...
Boy, this
better be a double minor to one against each player, because both of them hooked onto one another.
No, Matthew Nyes is going to go. And this was Ehlers to me. This is a pretty good sell job as well.
Well, Caulfield hooks Nyes to the ice.
It almost looked like Chatfield's stick was the one that tripped Ehlers.
He lets his stick go.
Unless the Leafs... If the Leafs get the power play, I think it's a bad call too. Boy, you know what? The Leafs get the power play. This this is a bad call. You can see why Carolina is not thrilled with it.
Are we going to a commercial break here?
Don't believe so. Would you not agree that's a bad call,
absolutely.
even against Carolina? It's one of those, you had 3 players chasing the puck down. And if Chatfield gets a penalty, it's really for tripping his own player.
We are. You're listening to Molson Leaf Hockey on Sportsnet 590 The Fan and the Maple Leafs Radio Network.
Bet365 is paying out before the final buzzer.
Check out Bet365's early payout for NHL hockey. When you bet on a team to win and they take a 3-goal lead, you get paid no matter the final score. And with early payout, you could be on your way to a winning parlay.
Early payout, just another reason why it's never ordinary at Bet365.
An official partner of the NHL, must be 19 or older, Ontario only. Please play responsibly. If you or someone you know has concerns about gambling, visit connexontario.ca. Terms and conditions apply.
Okay, category is ways Desjardins Insurance goes the extra mile to make insurance easy. First question, what are some of the things you can easily do online or in the app?
Oh, view your policy.
Add a new driver.
Oh, update your address when you move.
Easy. You guys are good.
Get insurance that's really big on care. Desjardins Insurance. Here for your home, auto, life, and business needs. Certain conditions apply.
Wherever Canadians raise a glass, you'll find Molson. There's a good reason for that. When you've been in Canada for over 230 years, you get around. In the cups and fridges of Canadians, generation after generation, Molson has a beer for everyone. So raise a glass or cup or whatever you pour your Molson in, because it doesn't matter what it's in, it matters where it's from. Canadian, export, ultra, excel, Molson. Everyone in. Must be legal drinking age.
You're listening to Toronto Maple Leafs hockey.
He's breaking out and scores!
On Sportsnet 590 The Fan and the Leafs Radio Network.
Chatfield for hooking. Leafs get their second power play. 2 ways to look at this. Ice the game away with a goal, or just kill off the 2 minutes and don't allow any short. Oh, no. Carolina ices the puck right off the bat. Oliver Ekman-Larsson will go back. It appears that the 5 forwards idea has been shelved, at least for the time being. Matthews through center. To Nylander, who's slows up, waits to get onside. Everybody had to come back. Tavares plays to an open wing. No one there. Grabbed off by Martinook, who gets it ahead at center. And it is slipped into the zone by Nikishin. Played away by the Leaf goaltender. And Toronto has the puck around back of the net. Oliver Ekman-Larsson being hounded there, and the puck comes free. Tavares after it now, and he starts up ice on the right wing, only to lose it, then got it back again, gets to the line and in, rink-wide pass, left wing side for a pass in front of the net, shot stop, rebound in front of the goal. Owen Anderson makes his best save of the game, catching a shot in tight from John Tavares. And I think he's a little frustrated because he just threw the puck to the face-off dot after making the save off Tavares. Pretty good save.
Yeah, first one was one-timer from Matthews, but I think it hit Nylander in front, bounces off the left pad of Freddie Anderson and out to Tavares. Tavares thought he was going to have room just to chip it up and over. Freddie Anderson got the glove up.
Second unit on the ice for Toronto. Offside at the Toronto blue line. So the face-off will be in the center ice area with 5:54 to play in the third period. And Toronto nursing a 4-1 lead built on goals from Bobby McMahon and Scott Lawton in the first period. Matthew Nyes and Austin Matthews in the second. Jarvis scoring the goal for Carolina. Riley dropping it back. Domi with speed through the neutral zone. Hits the line. Flips it into the left wing corner. In goes Robertson to free it up, but it comes around the boards, and it's going to squirt all the way out at center ice, and Riley goes back for it. Riley dropping for Domi. Domi hits the red line. Flips it into the left wing corner. It'll be Nikishin getting there first to ring it around the boards. Ottawa got knocked down on the play. The puck comes to the side of the goal. Knies couldn't get it. Banged off the glass and down the ice. And the Leafs have killed off this power play. They did have the good scoring chance by Tavares, but 2 minutes are off the clock and 4:54 remains. And that little statistic is probably as important as scoring a goal here. Here's the Leaf getting it down into the offensive end. Puck around back of the net. Joshua couldn't come up with it. And Carolina gets it to the near boards, and Jackson Blake carries to center and got it just in over the line where Jake McCabe intercepted. And the Leafs get it back into neutral ice, but not getting it in deep with Scott Lawton. And it's brought back the other way, but diligent back checking there by Bobby McMahon. Frees the puck up. It comes back to him, and it may have hit him in the side of the head as he gets up slowly. Puck comes in front of the goal, and it's going to be pounced on by Dennis Hildeby. And Scott Lawton holding the side of his head at the Leaf bench.
Well, hasn't he been through enough already?
I would think that is fairly accurate. You're listening to Molson Leaf Hockey on Sportsnet 590, The Fan, and the Maple Leafs Radio Network.
It's College Football Conference Championship Week, and you can hear all the games on Sirius XM.
Smith at the 50. He got behind everybody, even the peanut vendor. And Ohio State strikes early.
It's the final stop on the road to the 12-team college football playoff.
A terrific power run, and Indiana will take the lead right back.
Find your school's game at SiriusXM.com/sports.
Wide open catch to put the Dogs back in front.
And get ready for game day on College Sports Radio, Channel 84 in the car and on the Sirius XM app.
NHL Morning Skate.
Eric Tulsky's the general manager in Carolina.
Are you still a team that looks to go big game hunting via trades?
It's very easy as a manager when you have a good team to get conservative. Just let it play out and hope for the best. And that's not our philosophy here. We don't want to just sit back and call it good enough. We want to keep looking for ways to make the team better.
NHL Morning Skate
with Scott Laughlin and Gord Stellick.
Weekdays 7 a.m. Eastern
on NHL Network Radio,
Sirius XM 91, and the Sirius XM app.
Under review.
And stop making excuses for bad goaltending. And is it bad? Is it horrendous? If you don't win because you don't make a save or two, yeah. The nature of it is the goaltender is responsible for 90% of the action. He's got to stop the puck. Why do we keep making apologies for goaltending? Stop it.
Under review
with Mick Kern.
11 a.m. Eastern on NHL Network Radio,
Sirius XM 91, and the Sirius XM app.
Join me, Gord Stellick, and Scott Laughlin as we recap the night that was on NHL Morning Skate, weekday mornings at 7 a.m. Eastern on NHL Network Radio, Sirius XM 91.
The Fan and the Leafs Radio Network.
4-1 Toronto here late in the third period, which is brought to you by Rona. Rona knows the game we love is hard on the home. So make sure your home is ready to take on hockey season. Visit Rona.ca for more details. Build it right. Build it, Rona.
I think the thing you like the most about this period so far, Joe, shots are just 8-7 for Carolina. So you obviously expect the big push. Looks like Rod Brind'Amour has pulled Freddie Anderson here with 4:13 to go.
Yep. Draw one by Toronto in the scrum, carried by Gostisbehere to the slot. Puck was blocked. Now Lawton trying to get it out. He does ahead at center. Knies tried to knock it down into the zone and has. Gostisbehere around on the boards to the far wing. Stahl, pass off a stick, comes to center. Unable to trap it there was Oliver Ekman-Larsson. Benoit in against the boards, has to go back of the net. Around the boards, it'll come back to the blue line. Gostisbehere with it at the left point. Down into the corner on the near half wall. Back it comes to the point. Gostisbehere on the far side. Looking back to the near wing for Walker, but doesn't give it to him. Now sends it to the side of the goal. Centering pass. Broken up. Leafs get it off the boards and out at center. Not enough for icing, but out into the Carolina zone nonetheless. 3:24 to go. 6 attackers on the ice for Carolina. Gostisbehere along shooting, but it's going to turn into an icing. He wasn't across center ice.
Freddie Anderson will get back in. The faceoff comes down into the Carolina zone. But the Leafs, and it has been a struggle for 2 months.
Pretty good pad save by Hildeby here.
But to see them be comfortable playing with a lead into the third period. They did give up a third period goal in Pittsburgh against the Penguins, but were perfect in the third period against Florida on Tuesday night.
Draw to the right of Anderson, who is back in the cage. And Carolina wins the draw and make a bank pass to center, and it's shot into the Toronto zone. I'm sure that the goaltender is out of the net now. Back to the point, the extra attacker on for Carolina. Down into the right wing corner. It comes back to the point to Gostisbehere. Near side for Nikishin. Back to Gostisbehere. Right wing side. Down low again. Trying to get it in front of the net. Jarvis couldn't come up with it. And the Leafs get it to Willie. Nylander, a backhand try. Misses it by a foot. And an icing call coming against Toronto.
Pretty good play, though, as he was off balance and sort of got it in his feet, but was still able to maneuver enough to get the puck down ice.
Well, he had a pretty good idea where the net was. Missed it by a foot. .246 left in the third period. Draw scrummed and forces the Carolina player out of the face-off circle. Or maybe it was a warning. Jarvis, I believe, taking the draw. And won by the Leafs. Cleared on a roll, but it'll not get far enough even to get to the net, and it was well wide anyway.
Perfect curling shot, though, wasn't it?
Just to make sure we eat up some more time. Here are the Hurricanes in on the right wing side. Working it wide and setting it around the boards to the near side. Hall gets it back to the blue line. Fed by Walker to the far side. Gostisbehere on the left wing side for Blake. Blake back to the point. Looking again. It comes back to Blake. He walks across. Sends it into the left wing corner. Shot blocked. Knocked up on the boards. Tavares trying to get to it. Shot out and down the ice towards the empty net. Missed it by 3 feet. But no icing.
Yeah, went off a Carolina player.
2 minutes to go. Gostisbehere to center. Had a pass knocked off a stick. Leafs trying to play it out, have it go off a body. Volleyball then by Lorenz, but not out. Roy is able to get a skating room. Got it ahead. Bobby McMahon bullying his way to the empty net, and he scores. That is appropriate, the way this line has played this road trip. And Bobby McMahon gets his second goal of the game, 8th of the season, to ice this one away. 5-1 Toronto.
Yeah, McMahon, Nick Waugh, Steven Lorenz on the ice here late. And Bobby McMahon eventually bulldozes his way from the right wing side past Gostisbehere to just slip it into the empty net. Extend the Leaf lead to 5-1 with 1:44 to go. So it looks as though the Leafs will win their third in a row and 4 in their last 5 after dropping the first game of the road trip in Montreal.
Punched around the boards. It'll clear and go out at center ice. Robertson raced after it but couldn't come up with it. And the Hurricanes get it back at center, and it's brought right back in again now by Toronto. Lorenz couldn't get it in on the right wing. And now the Leafs play it back in on a delay, and it'll be Anderson punching it around back of the net with 1:16 to play in the third period. Puck to center ice and controlled now by Toronto in the Leaf zone, but a bad pass is intercepted there by Carrier. Down into the corner, trying to center is Robinson. He has no luck. Leafs get it under control in the corner, off the glass, out and down the ice. It'll be an icing charge, but tick-tock, tick-tock. 54.3 seconds remain in the third period.
It's also pretty solid in the face-off circle as well, 35-25. Face-off wins favoring the Leafs.
The Leafs will return home to host Montreal Saturday night. And maybe a little payback time. And a point shot is blocked by Lorenz, who is slow to get up. In fact, now is just getting back on his skates. Pass down low, centering feed, went wide. Lorenz is limping badly out there, but remains on the ice. Down into the corner, comes back of the net, centering pass intercepted, backhanded high towards the zone. It won't be enough for icing. And under a half minute to play in the game. Played back in over the line. Lorenz has gotten to the bench, and let's hope that it's just the bruise from the blocked shot. Cleared to the line, tipped to the line and out. Leafs with another rush in over the line for Roy, and he got in there and tipped it, and Anderson had to make a save. 10 seconds left. As impressive a game as the Leafs have had this year, they will come into Carolina who were 8-3-1 on home ice, and hand them a decisive 5-1 thrashing to give the Leafs their 13th win of the season, their 29th point of the year, and bring their record on the road to 5-7-0. And the 3 stars are brought to you by Desjardins Insurance. Get insurance that's really big on care.
Well, a lot to pick from. I'm going to give